Good evening, everyone, and welcome into this presentation of T-Bolts Baseball here on both the T-Bolts Radio Network and on Tacoma Park City Television. Hope everyone's having a great night. My name is Ian Binky, and along with my broadcast partner, Jacob Goldberg, we're very excited to bring you this presentation of Cal Ripken League Baseball for this game here at Blair Stadium between the Silver Spring-Takoma T-Bolts and the visiting Gaithersburg Giants.
And for the T-Bolts, this is the start of a 6-game homestand. We've talked about it all, all of the recent broadcasts. It's not about if this team is going to win, it's about when this team is going to win. And there's no better time to do it than 6 straight games in front of your home fans.
And that's a big couple of games coming up because the T-Bolts right on the edge of the playoff picture here in the Ripken League. And a couple of big wins, especially against teams like DC and South County just above them, will go a long way.
And DC picked up a huge win yesterday against the team the T-Bolts are playing tonight, Gaithersburg Giants, and now they sit a half a game above the T-Bolts. So the T-Bolts are on the outside looking in all of a sudden, and they need to put some good numbers up in the next few games to get back into the playoff picture.
So looking at both of these lineups here, which we will get to you in just a moment after the anthems, who do you think is going to stand out for this T-Bolts team here tonight?
Well, for the T-Bolts, it's going to be the Dinger Kings, Ian Jenkins and Nathan Waugh. Both lead the league in home runs with 5 on the season. They've been phenomenal for the T-Bolts, but really it's going to have to be a full performance of the team. 1 through 9, they're all going to have to step up. Eli Putnam back in the lineup after a day off. Expect him to be good for the T-Bolts. He had a home run just a few days ago in Blair. And for the Gaithersburg Giants, of course, their best player might be Joseph Quelch. He is leading off the game, leads a league in average, 472, and has a 532 on-base percentage. It is a tough job to get this man out.
And red hot over his last 5 games. He's 15 for 23. You heard me right, 15 for 23.
Video game numbers,
yeah,
seriously.
He's seeing the ball extremely well. Also has a home run and a pair of doubles over that span. Also 7 stolen bases, so he's a complete player. He excels everywhere he goes on the field.
Yeah, just going to have his hands full as Beck Urowski, the starting pitcher for the T-Bolts. And as you mentioned, the definition of a 5-tool player. He's good at defense, good at contact hitting, good at power hitting, good at base stealing, and really just everything that baseball has to offer.
So we're celebrating our Korean player here, our 14th international player here for the T-Bolts. And we are also celebrating Taeguk Kim, the first ever Korean national here for the T-Bolts. And in just a moment, we're going to have the first pitch here, actually.
So before we get the national anthem, or they're going to do the national anthem, they're throwing us off, but we're going to get the Korean national anthem in celebration of Taeguk Kim.
Here at Blair High School, she's going to play the saxophone, I understand. She's behind home plate in the stadium. Let's hear it, Elena. Thank you.
what a beautiful performance of the American National Anthem and the Korean National Anthem here at Montgomery Players Stadium. We were really treated there, weren't we?
Definitely so, as not often we get a live rendition of the anthem here at Blair, but definitely take it when we get it, as first pitch will be delivered here to Taegyu Kim ceremoniously and a little bit high and inside, but he got it on the frame, gets the strike call.
All that matters. It was detected by the strike zone. He got the pitch to home plate, did his job, and so now that we've gotten the ceremonies out of the way, I think it's time to go through the starting lineup for the team that's coming to bat first, the away Gaithersburg Giants. So I can run through them. Starting off is Joseph Quelch, a center fielder. He has been fantastic, as we mentioned, leading the Collegiate League in average, slugging percentage, and OPS. So he hits for average and hits it far. Dylan Wilkinson, the third baseman, bats second. Dustin Mercer, the right fielder, bats third, batting .255 in the season. He's been trying to find himself after some struggles. Drew Vogel, the shortstop, batting in the cleanup hole, has 2 home runs and 2 doubles. He is an extra base hit threat. Ihai Okoji, the DH, bats fifth. John Amaral, a late replacement into the lineup, takes over in catcher, and he will be batting sixth. Matt Ryan, the second baseman, bats seventh. Bryce Porter, the first baseman, bats eighth. And finally, rounding out the lineup for the away Gaithersburg Giants is Joshua Wilson, the left fielder from Frederick Community College.
So then the pitcher for the T-Bolts here tonight will be number 37, Beck Yurovsky, rising freshman, attending Cornell University in the fall. This is his second start of the year, and his first start went very well against Alexandria. Went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs on 8 hits, but 5 strikeouts, and pitched well enough to earn the win.
And if you can pitch well against Alexandria, you should be able to pitch well against the other teams. Alexandria comes in with the best batting average as a team in the Ripken League, and it's not even close. So if Yurovsky saw some success against that lineup, 1 through 9, he should be able to keep it going here against the Giants.
Then quickly aligning the T-Bolts for you defensively, right to left across the infield, it's Bryce Smith, Ryo Fabre, Bobby Leitzel, and Eli Putnam. Then left to right across the outfield, it's the Lander outfield once again, Chandler Moeller, Gary Garrett Jr., and Ian Jenkins, all attending Lander University. And then the battery tonight, of course, it's Yurovsky on the mound and Connor Kelly doing the catching tonight.
So still no Carboni or Gibbs, 2 players that the T-Bolts have relied on heavily this season. They both have been out with injuries, but hoping they get back and healthy. We know they're both in attendance at this game, so that's a very good sign. But the Lander University outfield has played very well this season, hoping to keep it going.
And important to mention, there are also a couple extra fielders out there tonight. The Blair Geese have returned to the outfield. They're roaming the outer part of the outfield, so it'll take a shot to reach them, but another obstacle out there for everyone to tackle should a ball reach them.
Well, if anyone's going to tackle it, it's Gary Garrett Jr., a phenomenal defender. But there are about 4 or 5 Geese out there right behind him, so certainly difficult challenge.
So Joseph Quelch steps to the plate here, and for the first time this season on both the T-Bolts Radio Network and on Takoma Park City TV, we are underway. First pitch is a called strike at 7:04 p.m. The umpires here tonight. At home plate, it's Dwight Godwin, and then Norm Gordon at first base, and Eric Slosek at third. The 0-1 is breaking ball, foul back right in our direction here in the press box.
Well, it's always important to get into an early, pitcher's count for Yurovsky, but especially against the league's best contact hitter. We've got a few pitches to waste here. Try and get a swing and miss. Don't have to throw a strike.
Yurovsky looking for the early punch out. The 0-2. It is grounded over to short. Leitzel fields it on a hop, and the throw to first, it is high, but it's just in time to beat Quelch.
Great play by Bryce Smith at first base. Had to kind of come off the bag with a jump, but got down in time, and Quelch, man, as he speeded down that first base line.
Yeah, no joke down there on the speed, but Leitzel and the infield able to handle it smoothly for the first out, and that will bring up Dylan Wilkinson. Wilkinson in the left-handed batter's box. .328 hitter on the year. First pitch. It is called strike outside corner.
Yurovsky yet to throw a ball. Good start for him. We've seen pitchers have struggled with command in the Ripken League this season.
Here comes the 0-1. It is fouled off, third base side. Another 2-strike count here for Yurovsky and the T-Bolts.
Wilkinson 5 for 8 this season against the T-Bolts with 5 RBIs. He has had our number all season long.
The 0-2. It is outside, first ball of the ball game. Hurled by Bakurovsky.
But good pitch. He knows he doesn't have to throw a strike if he doesn't want to. And he's got 2 more pitches to work with.
Wilkinson not afraid to take his walks. 17 on the year. Only 8 strikeouts. The 1-2. The one is grounded to first. Smith cleans it. Fieldy cleans it. Cleans it. Easy for me to say. Fields it cleanly. That's what I was looking for. And then tosses it over to Yurovsky.
I've had a few of those moments this season, though, where he's in. But a good play defensively by Bryce Smith. We know he's got a good bat, but he's certainly there as a defensive player at first base. He has just been steady all season long in the corner infield.
So now with 2 outs, Dustin Mercer steps to the plate. Guarding right field tonight for Gaithersburg. Another lefty hitter at the plate. The first pitch is inside, ball 1.
Not a bad miss there. Trying to brush him off the plate. Assert his dominance early in the at-bat.
The 1-0. That one is outside, 2-0. Mercer, before his freshman season at Murray State, he's a rising junior, but was named Ohio Valley Conference preseason freshman of the year. Here's the 2-0. That one's inside, nearly clips him, and will get all the way to the backstop.
First time in the first 3 batters that Yurovsky struggled to find the strike zone. Important to see how he can, get back into it. Don't want to get a two-out base runner and start something late in the inning.
The 3-0. It's in there, taking all the way was Mercer.
Mercer only 1 home run in the season, but he came against the T-Bolts, so don't want to throw him something right down the middle.
The 3-1. One is grounded to first. Smith fields it cleanly. I got it right that time, and steps on it himself for the 3rd out. So a clean first inning here for the T-Bolts, something that they've been looking for the last couple of games, as they get no hits, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base here in the top of the 1st. And now before we get to the bottom of the 1st, we'll set the table for you here for the Giants in the field and the T-Bolts at the plate.
So for the T-Bolts at the plate, I'll go through their order. Bobby Leitzel, we've seen him in the leadoff spot much of the second half of the season. He will again lead off, so the all-star who's batting .324 gets a chance to be the first base runner. Chandler Muller, the left fielder, will bat second. He came in a few nights ago for Carboni and has been nothing short of excellent since then. In the 3 and 4 holes, the usuals, Ian Jenkins at right field, Nathan Waugh tonight DHing. They have both been phenomenal with 5 home runs each. Eli Putnam, the third baseman, bats 6th. Or correction, bats 5th. Bryce Smith, the first baseman, bats 6th. Connor Kelly, behind the plate, bats 7th. Ryo Fobb right back into the lineup at second base, bats 8th. And finally, rounding out the order is a guy who struggled at the plate, Gary Garrett Jr., but we know he's there for his glove.
So then we will align the Giants for you defensively, right to left across the infield. It is Porter, Ryan, Vogel, and Wilkinson. Left to right across the outfield, it's Wilson, Quelch, and Dustin Mercer. Behind the plate is John Amaral, JT Amaral, however you prefer.
Yes.
And then on the mound tonight for Gaithersburg, it will be Matthew Kahn.
Well, Amaral was a late replacement behind the plate. It was supposed to be Michael Morale, but he was taken out of the lineup last minute. Not sure if there's an injury involved there, but we certainly hope he's okay. And that is just a last-minute replacement.
So Kahn, the rising sophomore from High Point University, 5'8" right-hander, and he was named an All-Star this year. 2.81 ERA through his first 4 games this year.
Has been very good, but has 11 walks through 16 innings, so that's something to look out for.
T-Bolts, we know, one of the most disciplined teams here in the league this year. So Bobby Leitzel in first, his signature wide open stance. First pitch is down low, ball 1.
Leitzel makes you work for that first out, that's for sure. Doesn't swing at much outside of the zone.
The 1-0. That one is down low again. So 2 balls, no strikes, the first count of the game here to the T-Bolts for Bobby Leitzel. The 2-0. One is a blooped foul over into the bullpen over there, and heads up, the camera crew out there kept on their toes.
Awesome that we have a camera crew here tonight.
Excited to bring you T-Bolts television tonight, as the 2-1 is off speed, called strike 2.
Could be weird to say, but we are happy to bring you some video feed, that is for sure.
And quality video feed at that. The 2-2. The one is grounded up the middle. Ranging over there is Vogel, fields it, and the throw will get away from the first baseman, Porter. Over there, though, to cover is Amaral, so Leitzel will just reach first base. We'll wait on the scoring decision.
I have to imagine that might be scored a single. It easily could be an error on the shortstop, who is Drew Vogel, but it was a tough play, and Leitzel gets down the line fast. So we'll see what the official scoring is. But good play by Leitzel to get contact. You know, when you put the ball in play, good things happen.
Exactly right. As the leadoff base runner is on here for the T-Bolts. First base runner of the ball game for either side. And now Chandler Moeller to the plate. First pitch, that is breaking ball outside. Ball 1, as the official ruling, it is an error charged to Drew Vogel over there at shortstop, allowing Leitzel to reach.
Leitzel is speedy. We'll see if he tests the arm of the catcher.
A big lead over there. And now a look. Back safely is Leitzel.
Surprised Leitzel didn't go off for second base after the missed throw to first. He's been aggressive base running all season long.
Perhaps know that he represents the leadoff guy on base.
Yes, very important.
Here's the 1-0. That one is a swing and a miss. Moeller sitting on the fastball, got it just a little bit late.
I like the aggressiveness. You see the first strike of the game, you're going to swing at it. Don't wait for it to come to you.
So Moeller, ever since replacing the injured Carboni, has been performing very well at the plate. A quick look over at first, Leitzel safe.
And have to imagine with his hot bat, he's going to stay in the lineup even after Carboni comes back.
Yeah, he's gotten his average at up to 222 after it was down below the Mendoza line for a majority of the season. The 1-1. That one's a breaking ball, called strike 2.
Excellent pitch there by Matthew Kahn, just caught the upper outer corner.
So first pitcher's count of the ball game here to Matthew Kahn. He sets, Leitzel at first base, the pitch. That one is a swing and a miss. Quality breaking ball there to get the hack, and Moeller goes down swinging, first out of the game.
And a tough out, but now we know why Kahn has a sub-3 ERA. Fantastic pitches back-to-back to get Moeller looking and then swinging. And it's the first out of the inning. Brings up Ian Jenkins, though, who we know can hit any pitcher.
Jenkins, also an all-star. So all-star against all-star here at Blair Stadium.
10 extra base hits in the season.
Here's the first pitch. That one is fouled off, right side.
Jenkins has not seen many pitches recently. He saw one he liked and tried to drive it.
And Dustin Mercer out there in right field, keeping an eye on the geese behind him, just making sure he doesn't run over one if a ball's hit in his direction. Here comes the 0-1. Rather, no, we're going to get a look at first base.
So a lot of attention on Bobby Leitzel, and for good reason. He's a very speedy guy.
Leitzel this year has stolen 2 bases in 4 attempts, so is prone to the caught stealing. Now the 1-0, or 0-1 rather, is that one's fouled off, so Jenkins behind, 2 strikes, no balls.
And good for Matthew Kahn, not being scared of one of the T-Bolt's best hitters. He's thrown 2 balls right down the middle of the plate, and Jenkins has not been able to come up with contact.
So Jenkins over here, he's wanting a new baseball bat, I believe.
Or maybe just getting some pine tar from Nathan Waugh's bat.
He was asking for pine tar from the dugout, but couldn't locate it in time, so he'll swipe some from his teammate on deck. And now that his gloves are sticky to his liking, he steps back in. Leitzel at first base, with 1 out in the inning. The 0-2. That one is outside, trying to get the frame, and the call was Amaral.
Looks like a very good pitch for Matthew Kahn, but of course Jenkins has a fantastic eye. So anything just outside the plate, he's not going to swing at.
The pitch. That one is popped up on the infield. Third baseman Wilkinson makes the call and makes the catch for the second out. And communication is key on those pop-ups.
That it is, and having it all the way easily was Wilkinson. He called off the shortstop Vogel from the beginning. So no chance of missing that play. They get the easy out.
So Nathan Waugh to the plate now. 2 outs in the inning now with Leitzel still at first base. The first pitch to Waugh, breaking ball outside, ball 1.
Waugh does not walk a lot and strikes out a lot, but when he puts the ball in play, it goes a long way. So he is prone to the swing and miss. That's something to look out for.
Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball in there this time, strike 1. Good pitch working there tonight for Kahn.
Pretty good off speed. I agree with you there.
Ball will have to settle in and work with what he has. The 1-1. Breaking ball low this time. 2 balls, 1 strike.
But heavily relying on that off-speed pitch.
If the T-Bolts can adjust and square one up, he could sit on it and try to drive one deep. No one better than Waugh, the 2-1. He goes fastball this time, outside edge, called strike 2.
Goes to the fastball and locates it well, so we know he's got multiple pitches that he can use to his advantage.
Eli Putnam on deck if Waugh can extend the inning, work away on. Leitzel at first base, 2 outs in the inning. Quick look over at first. Leitzel back in with a dive.
Leitzel taking a very, very big lead. And with 2 strikes and 2 outs, wouldn't be surprised if they have a hit and run situation here.
Leitzel's jersey dirty over there after the several pickoff attempts. Here's the 2-2. Runner goes. It is called strike 3. Waugh stood there like a statue to take that call.
So they did do the hit and run. They just missed the hit part. And Waugh looks at another beautiful pitch from Matthew Kahn. So that ends the first inning. T-Bolts can't score.
So the T-Bolts get no runs on no hits. There was 1 giant error, and there was 1 runner left on base. As now we head to the second inning of play here from Blair Stadium. It's the T-Bolts nothing and the Gaithersburg Giants nothing on both the T-Bolts Radio Network and on Tacoma Park City TV. So Drew Vogel to the plate now for the Gaithersburg Giants. Vogel, Okoji, and Amaral due up. First pitch. It is in there for a called strike to Vogel.
Vogel has been fantastic against the T-Bolts this season. 8 at-bats, 5 hits, and a home run.
Vogel looking to improve that as he will line one to third. It's a fair ball off the leg of the umpire down there, Eric Slosek, and it kicks all the way to the corner. Fielding it now is Chandler Moeller, and getting it back in. So a leadoff double for Vogel, and his fantastic season against T-Bolt pitching continues.
Well, the first hit of the game is an extra base of the extra base variety, and beautiful, beautiful hitting there by Drew Vogel, as Brock Hunter may be going to talk about whether or not the ball was fair or foul. It looked clearly fair.
Yeah, it was fair. It just hooked foul immediately after it got past the bag. And he's probably just checking to make sure, because it did clip the foot of the umpire over there, Eric Slosek, but
he would have gotten a double either way.
Yeah.
Have to imagine, and I think it was definitely the right call from our vantage point. Of course, the third base umpire, that's Eric Slosek, has the best view. So if he's calling it fair and we also think it's fair, it's most likely the right call.
So now a runner in scoring position, first win of the ball game for either team for Ehia Koji. First pitch. It is down low, ball one. Akoji getting the bat going, still hitting 176 on the year, but has hit a home run in his last 2 ball games. Trying to keep that going. Big lead out there at second base. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Urofsky.
But that's what he's prone to, the swing and misses. 6 Ks in the season, only 2 walks. You know, Urofsky's going to look to take advantage of that here.
Koji, the rising sophomore from Hartford Community College. The 1-1 swung on in a foul tip, but right into Kelly's mitt. So a ball and 2 strikes now.
Koji, teammates with Bobby Lightsell.
Yeah, he is. So maybe Lightsell getting a good book on his teammate here. Lightsell standing at shortstop here for the T-Bolts. Here's the 1-2. Up high. Count even.
Just being told the Hartford Community College mascot is the Fighting Owls. Must say that's a brilliant mascot.
Yes. They won up the Temple Owls by adding the fighting in there.
Oh, certainly.
The 2-2. One is lined out to left. It will drop a fair ball around third, and heading home is Vogel. He will score easily, and the throw will go into the infield here to hold Akoji to a single, but it works out for him. It's an RBI single, and the Giants take an early 1-0 lead.
Just back-to-back good at-bats by the Giants. They see some pitches from Urofsky. They fight them off, stay alive, and drive them down the left field line. Luckily for the T-Bolts, Bowler got there in time to keep it from being another extra base hit.
So now here's JT Amaral to the plate. We mentioned the late addition to the lineup. First pitch. One is fouled off to the screen. Amaral this year, a .239 hitter. A home run, 3 doubles. He'd love to get another extra base hit here.
Unlike the T-Bolts, pretty much all of these starting 9 have a home run on the season, so any of these players can go deep at any moment.
T-Bolts, all their home run hitters concentrated between the 2 and 5 holes, as the 0-1 is upstairs and away, a ball and a strike.
Certainly when you take the home run approach, you are prone to more strikeouts.
The 1-1 is a breaking ball outside and in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Amaral this year, limited appearances against the T-Bolts, but is 0 for 5. The pitch outside again. So scouting report might say target the outside of the plate, and Urofsky just trying to locate the pitch. Behind the count now, though. Probably has to get one into the wheelhouse of Amaral. We'll see if he swings at it. The 3-1. He takes it, and it's a pitch up high for ball 4.
Good looking pitch from Urofsky, just doesn't get the call. Certainly that would have been a very good, 2-1 or 3 or 2-1 or 2-2 pitch. But with 3 balls, you can't put anything that's, of arguing from home plate umpire. You need to throw a strike.
So after the first 3 batters of the ball game were retired in order by the T-Bolts, they run into some trouble here. 3 in a row have reached, with 1 already home in the inning. And now Matt Ryan steps to the plate. The first pitch, one's outside. Good play by Kelly to snare.
Very good play. Urofsky's had these stretches, as Kelly's going to talk to him. He's had some stretches where he's gone 10 straight strikes, but he's had a few others where he's had a few pitches outside the zone. So going to always catch the attention of the guy behind the plate when you miss your location that badly.
So while we have a moment, we can take a zip around the Ripken League to see the other games in action and also highlight the other teams in Montgomery County here on Takoma Park City TV. As the Bethesda Big Train are in action right now against the South County Braves, and they lead 7-0. That game being played in Lorton, Virginia. Big Train are on the road.
They have found their offensive groove, that is for sure.
As here's the 1-0 into Ryan. It's flied out to right field. Look out, Blair Geese, but it will get out of play.
Geese have left the outfield, which is good. Maybe this will shoo them away from the field.
They're over there in foul territory, which is probably the safest place for them to be if they are to remain on the field. Borowski here working hard. The 1-1. Up high, ball 2. The other game in action right now, the DC Grays, the team the T-Bolts are chasing in the playoff race. They lead the Alexandria Aces 3-0. That game only in the second inning, though. DC struck for 3 in the bottom of the first. The 2-1 is a breaking ball up high, at least called that direction.
Looked pretty good. Borowski, he's had a good breaking ball, but doesn't get the call now and needs to settle back in. Don't want to load the bases with no outs.
Need to make some quality pitches here, the 3-1. That one up high, ball 4, and just what he wanted to avoid. The bases are loaded after that walk.
Brings up the bottom of the order, but anyone in this order is dangerous. Bryce Porter in the ace spot, still batting .250 with a .385 on base percentage. And now Brock Hunter is going to come out and talk to his young rising freshman from Cornell.
That gets the attention of some of the T-Bolts out there in the bullpen. No throwing yet, but it looks like Ethan Mishra will get his arm loosened up with some elastic bands.
And it's a shame because Urofsky looked so good in that first inning, but it's just gotten into trouble here, and we've seen it from the T-Bolts. It's the big innings that have haunted them. It's okay to have some stretches of pitching where they aren't dominant, but you can't let it be a 6-run, 7-run inning that gets you out of the ballgame this early.
As take a moment to highlight the, a little bit of a zoo we have here at Blair Stadium. Of course, we've talked at length about the Blair Geese, but also the Blair Pig out in right field, which we'll discuss over the course of the ball game. We do have the announcement here at Blair Stadium. I'm fully detailing it to you, but we'll give you the abridged version here on the broadcast as Bryce Porter steps to the plate. Infield in for the T-Bolts. First pitch is a breaking ball, called strike 1. So the
breaking ball.
Yeah, the Blair Pig, it's a forensic activity here for Montgomery Blair High School. A pig is brought in. It's long gone before it gets here to the high school, as the 0-1 is called strike 2, that time on the fastball. They bring it in and they watch it decompose over the course of the school year and study all the kinds of critters and insects that help to break down the body once it passes away. As the 2-1 is chopped here to third, it's in foul territory.
Luckily for the T-Bolts in foul territory, but as going back to the Blair Pig, pretty cool thing that not many high schools offer.
Yeah.
Of course, a little disturbing that there's a dead pig outside of the right field fence, but it is cool for the forensic students to study. And if there is a sign, now that we have a TV feed, you can probably see it in right field with a sign saying Blair Pig hit it here in a target. So if any player hits it above that target or hits it on the fly, they get a free barbecue pork sandwich.
Tie in with our sponsor, All Set Restaurant. As here's the 0-2. That one up high, ball 1. Trying to work for the strikeout here is Urofsky. Strikeout would go a long way to help get out of the jam.
Well, you can go for the waste pitch here, but you don't want to throw one in the dirt that can get by Kelly.
The 1-2. It's a breaking ball, flied out to center, shallow center. We'll see if they try to score him. Charging it is Gary Garrett, makes the catch. It's too shallow. The throw will go into the cutoff man, Bryce Smith. So that works out for Urofsky. It's just a simple fly out to center, and everyone stays put.
Well, just as good as a strikeout there, and I am certainly not testing the arm of a guy who has 130 straight putouts in his collegiate career. So I think it was a wise decision from Ehai Koji to stay at third base. We know Gary is one of the best defensive players in the entire Cal Ripken League.
And the threat of his arm kept the runner at third base, Akoji, so Josh Wilson to the plate. First pitch to him is grounded to short. Leitzel knocks it down, and the throw will go wild. And now maybe, no play at home. The throw will instead go to third, way behind the base runner. So the T-Bolts, a ground ball, could have gotten them out of the inning, but the error committed by Bobby Leitzel will allow 2 runs to score. It's now 3-0 Gaithersburg.
It's the middle infield that continues to haunt the T-Bolts. Not that that's a routine double play by any means, but you at least should get 1 out there. And they come up empty with 2 runs already home, and now another runner at third.
Yeah, Ryan advanced to third on the error. Wilson now at first base. 3 runs home on the inning. And now the lineup turns over for Joseph Quelch. First pitch, that one will hit him. The breaking ball slipped out of the hand of Yurovsky. And now down to first base is Joseph Quelch, and the bases will be loaded again.
Third baseman number 2, Dylan Wilkinson.
So you talked about the big innings, just the point of emphasis for the T-Bolts trying to limit them, but they find themselves in the midst of what could turn into a crooked number on the scoreboard. 3 already home, and the bases are still loaded now with only 1 out.
And infield at double play depth, except the corner infield way in, and now Quelch is getting checked by the umpire to make sure he's okay after getting hit by the pitch.
Yeah, he's swinging that arm around, but probably just trying to get the blood flowing to that area. First pitch into Wilkinson is blooped out to center, and Garrett dives, but can't come up with it. 1 run will score, the throw will go into Leitzel, a 2nd run will score, and the throw will be behind the runner, Wilkinson at second base, not in time. So a 2-run double for Dylan Wilkinson, just out of the reach of Gary Garrett in center field.
As I mentioned, big innings have haunted the T-Bolts. And of course, not to say they're out of this game at all, only 5-0, but you know, it could get even worse with just 1 gone and 2 runners in scoring position. You gotta find a way to get out of this with as little damage as possible.
And it's 5 runs already home. And Dustin Mercer, the 9th player sent to the plate here for Gaithersburg. Infield in here for the T-Bolts. First pitch is lined out into left field, a base hit. So T-Bolts bring their infield in, and it hurts them as the ball will roll away from the left fielder Moeller. And pulling up into second base now is the base runner Mercer. 2 runs will score as Moeller bobbled it out there and left. It's certainly a base hit, but we'll see if it's a single, and they are scoring it a double. So scored a Mercer double, allowing the 2 runners to score. So back-to-back doubles, clear the bases.
Now they've batted through the order, and it's already 7-0 in the 2nd inning. After retiring the side in the order, 1, 2, 3, it's been tons of trouble for Zach Yurovsky.
So Drew Vogel to the plate for the 2nd time in the inning. First pitch, that one is breaking ball in there, strike 1. And still only 1 out in the inning. After the double play ball could have escaped the jam, it has instead started a snowball effect. 7 runs home. Another runner in scoring position with 1 out, and that one will hit him in the helmet. Another breaking ball that has eluded Yurovsky, and thank goodness for helmets, Vogel appears to be okay, and he'll just jog down to first base.
But not missing his pitches, missing them pretty badly in this inning. He needs to find a way, or else they're going to have to bring in the reliever Mishra, who's warming up. As the Geese are back in right field tormenting, or left field, or right field. Tormenting Ian Jenkins.
And that's bringing up Akoji. First pitch. That one is a called strike. Akoji shakes his head. He thought it was inside. Akoji reached on a single and scored earlier in the inning. The 0-1. Breaking ball, fouled off, chopped in front of home plate, then off the body of Akoji. Now he'll flip it back out to Yurovsky. So, no balls, 2 strikes, the count to Akoji. And looking in is Yurovsky trying to get out of the inning here. First, rather the pitch. That one is up high, and it gets off the glove of Kelly. That'll allow both base runners to score and scratch the double play, as that one will be scored a pass ball.
Yeah, I have to imagine that's a pass ball. A pretty good-looking pitch.
It was certainly up and away, but off the glove of Kelly. And T-Bolt struggles continue. Now 2 in scoring position with 7 runs home in the inning and only 1 out. The pitch to Okoji. That's a swing and a miss for strike 3, the second out.
Big second out for T-Bolts, but there's still 1 more to get. And John Amaral is not an easy out, that's for sure. Walked in the first, or walked in this inning, correction, coming up for the second time.
Yeah, walked his first time to the plate. And up for his second time. Was his 6th walk of the year. Trying to find another way on. First pitch, check swing, but he went too far. Making the call himself behind the plate is Dwight Godwin. So a 1-strike count here to Amaral. The Geese now firmly perched out there in shallow right field. Jenkins having to play behind them. He's kind of displaced out there. The 0-1. That one is flied out to left. Moeller over to our right, to his left, and makes the catch out there in left field. So the inning will finally come to a close, but the Gaithersburg Giants put up a large number on the scoreboard. They get 7 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and there were 2 runners left on base. As now we head to the bottom of the second. T-Bolts trail by 7 to the Gaithersburg Giants on T-Bolts Radio Network. Back here on the T-Bolts Radio Network and on Tacoma Park City TV. It's a 7-0 lead for the Gaithersburg Giants over the Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts. If you're just tuning in, thank you for taking part in this telecast. We can actually say telecast here, as game both on radio and on TV here tonight. And a big thank you to everyone at Tacoma Park City TV for making the effort and putting this together. And the T-Bolts are hoping to turn this ball game around here for everyone tuning in at home. First pitch here to Eli Putnam. It is inside and it hits it. So that's one way to get on base to start an inning and start a comeback.
Well, Putnam doesn't like it because he obviously got hit, but he does the job for his team. You got to get a leadoff base runner when you're down 7.
So after a pair of Giants were hit in the top of the second, the bottom of the second is led off with a hit by pitch for the T-Bolts. And they'll try to convert here with the leadoff base runner as Bryce Smith steps to the plate. First pitch in to Smith. It is a called strike. So early tonight, Dwight Godwin seems to be favoring the pitchers on that outside edge to left-handed hitters.
But it's been consistent. He's got a pretty wide strike zone.
As long as you're consistent, it's all that matters to us. Here's the 0-1. One is blooped and foul out of play over by the Gaithersburg bullpen and dugout.
And the camera crew on the third base line.
They're seeing some action over there. It's the 0-2 to Smith. He's in a hole. Short lead over there. First base for Putnam, the pitch. That one is a slow grounder, and that will get the job done. The runner will be advanced. The throw from the catcher, Amaral, is in time to retire Smith, but a productive out. 2-3 on the put out, but Putnam advances to second base.
Well, he didn't mean for it to be a sacrifice bunt, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
As a little dribbler advances Putnam to second base, and the T-Bolts have a chance to at least cut into the lead. You know, for the T-Bolts, of course you want to get all 7 runs back, but that's not the goal. You need to just chip away. Start with 1 run and try and get the runner in.
Certainly you can score 7 in an inning, but
yes,
it's not exactly the most wise decision to game plan for that. Get 1 here, 2 there, and then you're back in this ball game. First pitch into Connor Kelly is a fastball in there, strike 1.
That left side of the strike zone has been called all night from Goodwin, and the hitters are going to have to adjust.
Here comes the 0-1. That one's outside, good block by Amaral. We've seen a lot of great catching performances here at the Ripken League. Catchers sliding out with ease to make those difficult blocks look routine.
A lot of pitchers with command troubles. You'll see a lot of pitchers in the dirt. Certainly gives them a lot of practice.
A long look in here for Kahn. Now he sets. The 1-1. Breaking ball is flied out to left. Shallow left field. Coming in is Wilson. He locates it and puts it away for the second out.
The T-Bolts have had 2 straight innings with leadoff base runners. Yet to score. We'll see if Fabre can change things, but he has struggled recently trying to get out of a funk.
Hitless in his last 17 at-bats after what was a great start to the year. We've seen him coming out of the bullpen to pitch as well, one of the many two-way players here for the T-Bolts. First pitch to Fabre, it's a breaking ball, right down the middle, strike 1. Fabre with his recent struggles, down below the Mendoza line, hitting 188 on the year. But a couple of hits could break him out of the funk.
Certainly.
The 0-1. That's a breaking ball outside this time. A ball and a strike.
Just too much talent not to be utilized. He leads a team with multi-hit games with 3. Just none of them coming in the past few days.
The pitch. That one is line foul over the T-Bolt bullpen for a strike, and it looks like Ethan Mishra is now throwing out there. A 1-2 count here to Ryo Fabre, second baseman tonight for the T-Bolts. As he will call time after the long look in. Kahn's been doing that recently here in the inning. Staring in and trying to throw off the timing of Putnam out there at second base. A ball and 2 strikes, the pitch. That one in the dirt. Ball 2. As the sun is peeking behind the clouds here at Blair. Starting to set here as we reach the early nighttime in Silver Spring, Maryland. The 2-2, that one's low and away. So we'll get a full count pitch coming up here to Ryo Fabre.
Well, another guy on deck, Garrett, who's struggled recently. T-Bolt's looking to break those curses with the bottom of the lineup here tonight.
Keeping a close eye on Putnam at second base is Kahn. Now the pitch. A breaking ball that it's grounded right back to Kahn. He sprints over to first base and now tosses it to the first baseman Porter for the third out of the inning. T-Bolts threaten to get a runner in scoring position, but nothing more. They get no runs on no hits, no errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. As now we head to the 3rd inning of play here from Blair Stadium in Silver Spring, Maryland. It's the Gaithersburg Giants 7 and the Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts nothing on Takoma Park City TV and the T-Bolts Radio Network. and welcome back here to Blair Stadium as a new pitcher is taken to the mound here for the T-Bolts. It is right-hander Ethan Mishra. Jacob, what can you tell us about Mishra?
Well, Mishra has been pretty good at some points with the T-Bolts so far this season. Running number 25, the sophomore from VCU, has played 3 games, has pitched 11 innings, and has allowed just 1 earned run. So if there's anyone who's going to keep you in the game with long relief appearance, it's going to be Ethan Mishra.
And his last appearance here for the T-Bolts came all the way back on June 23rd. He was battling an illness, and he's back with the team now. He earned the save in that outing against the DC Grays, and looks to eat some innings up here and try to get the T-Bolts back in this ball game. His first pitch of the night is fastball in there, strike 1. So he'll be facing Matt Ryan, Bryce Porter, and Joshua Wilson to start the 3rd inning. Breaking ball inside.
So for Yurovsky, 2 innings, 4 hits, 7 runs, and 2 bases on balls.
Pitch is flied out to center field, right at Gary Garrett Jr. out there, and makes it look easy for round number 1. So also for Yurovsky, you mentioned the 7 runs, but 6 of them were earned after that error. You know, it only goes down as an error for 1 recorded out, but really should have been 2 after it was a ground ball and could have been a double play, but can't assume the double play. As first pitch into Bryce Porter, the appeal down to first base, and saying he went is first base umpire Norm Gordon.
Norm has been calling many of the games for the T-Bolts this season. Familiar name for the people on the T-Bolts radio network.
The 0-1. That one is a fastball down the middle, strike 2. And for everyone tuning in to Takoma Park City TV, might get used to that name, Norm Gordon, over there at first base.
Yes.
If you choose to join us on the radio network for the continuation of the year, as that one's down low, a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. It's a breaking ball, called strike 3. Ring him up. Nasty pitch from Mishra.
And that pitch might have been a little outside, but again, it's that left corner of the strike zone that has consistently been called. It might be consistently called a little bit, you know, off the strike zone, but no complaints when you know that's what's going to happen. As I mentioned, hitters just have to adjust.
That was the slider from Mishra, part of a 3-pitch mix. Now he'll face Joshua Wilson, first pitch. That one's inside, ball 1. As Mishra was kind enough to message us on Instagram and tell us a little bit more about his pitching arsenal earlier in the year. Here's the 1-0. Catches the zone, strike 1. It says he has a fastball and a slider, which he uses with regularity, and then the splitter, which he breaks out for a lefty-heavy lineup. So maybe see it with the top of the order here for Gaithersburg, as the 1-1 misses low.
Love it when the pitchers let us know what's inside of their minds. We don't have to do the mind reading.
Here comes the 2-1 from Mishra. That one low and in. Now behind on the count, 3 balls and a strike to the 9-hole hitter, Joshua Wilson.
Well, the most dangerous hitter in the league is on deck, so you know that Mishra wants to get out of it right now.
The pitch. That one is flied out to left. Moeller charges, but being called off by Lights look short. Now he calls him off. Communication finally comes through at the last minute, and Moeller makes the catch out there in shallow left field. So a clean inning for Ethan Mishra out of the bullpen here for the T-Bolts, and nails it down. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base there for the Giants in the top of the 3rd. We head to the bottom half. It's the Gaithersburg Giants 7 and the T-Bolts still nothing on Takoma Park City TV and the T-Bolts Radio Network. heading to the bottom of the third inning here on Tacoma Park City TV and the T-Bolts Radio Network. It'll be 9-1-2 due up for the T-Bolts as Gary Garrett Jr. steps into the box for his first at-bat of the night.
Gary has struggled this season hitting, has a phenomenal eye at the plate.
T-Bolts trying to crack the code that has been Matthew Kahn. First pitch is a breaking ball in their strike. Kahn has been using that pitch, the curveball, almost as his primary pitch. As the 0-1, it is a swing and a miss, that time on the fastball, strike 2. Just his mix has been baffling T-Bolt hitters like he's been baffling hitters throughout the Ripken League this year. The 0-2, that one is down low. Garrett lays off, a ball and 2 strikes.
Garrett only 3 hits in the season, but has 10 walks. Good for a .329 on base percentage.
The pitch, that one a called strike 3, right where it's been called all night on the outside edge. A little bit off the plate, but still the consistent zone there from Dwight Godwin for the first strikeout for Gary Garrett Jr. The third strikeout of the game for Kahn. And now Leitzel up for his second time. The first pitch, squaring to bunt is Leitzel, but holds back. The pitch was up and away.
Once again with the strike zone, nothing wrong with it, but the hitters have to know it. They can't be trying to take that pitch.
It's a tough pitch to get to,
yeah,
but have to adjust to the umpire. And as that one is at the knees, called by the home plate umpire, Dwight Godwin. 1-1 the count. The pitch to Leitzel. He loops one out to left field. The first hit of the ball game for the T-Bolts belongs to the leadoff guy, Bobby Leitzel.
Makes sense he would get the first hit. He has just been nothing short of fabulous to watch these past few nights. Really a pleasure. And he has gotten his season going the right way recently. 324 average, and that's going to go up.
So now Chandler Moeller to the plate, trying to keep the inning going. Runner on with 1 man out.
Infield at double play depth, trying to end the inning with single play.
The first pitch to Moeller, it's the curveball outside. Moeller struck out his first time up and trying to make some contact here. The 1-0. That one's outside, but another good play by Amaral to keep the ball in front of him.
Lander and Lander University back-to-back in the T-Bolts order, but Moeller and Jenkins trying to just get this game closer. 7-0 right now, the Gaithersburg Giants lead.
So Kahn trying to find his stuff here. The 2-0. That one is in there, called strike 1, right where, he's been grading that inside part of the plate to right-handers for a strike.
Can't complain. I mean, that's his strike zone. You might not like it, but it's not going to change.
Here's the 2-1. Runner goes. It's a breaking ball, and the throw is wild. Wow, that one was all the way out into center field on a fly. So a stolen base for Leitzel, but he'll stay there as he went in headlong on a dive. As maybe a smile there from Amaral. The ball might have slipped on him.
Well, kind of unfortunate that Leitzel went to the slide at second base because he would have easily reached third.
Ball definitely looked like it slipped out of the hand of Amaral. Fortunately enough for him, he's able to laugh it off and settle back in there. Now runner in scoring position for the T-Bolts, a 3-1 count. And the pitch, that one is popped up over the netting and out of play. And some kids are racing to try to track down that foul ball. See if they decide to return it or keep it as a souvenir, hoping they return it. As the count runs full here to Chandler Moeller. The pitch. That one is a called strike 3. And as we said, that's just where that pitch is being called all night long. The strike zone has been on the inside part of the plate. And some barking from the home plate, or the home team dugout. And Dwight Godwin kind of extending a hand wanting no more, but Moeller's down on strikes the second time tonight.
I mean, how many times have I said it? I feel like I'm, repeating myself. I mean, that's the strike zone. Hitters need to adjust. I mean, it's very inside, that is for sure.
And the left-handed hitters, it's the same on the outside part of the plate. Right-handed hitter here for Ian Jenkins as he's first pitch swinging and pops that one up. Three fielders converging on it. It will be the shortstop out there, Drew Vogel, calling him off, calling everyone off, and making the catch a step in fair territory to retire the side. So the T-Bolts once again threaten here in the third inning, but come up empty. They do get their first hit. They get no runs on one hit. No errors committed by the Giants, and one man left on base. As now we head to the fourth inning of play here from Blair Stadium as the Geese will fly across the field and take flight. And we will take flight to the commercial break here on T-Bolts Radio Network and on Tacoma Park City TV. As we're back here just in time for the start of the fourth inning here on the T-Bolts Radio Network and on Tacoma Park City TV. As Ethan Mishra returns to the mound for the T-Bolts, looking to try to keep this game at a 7-run deficit for the T-Bolts. They trail by the 7-0 margin to the Gaithersburg Giants, but he will face the top of the order for the first time. Quelch, Wilkinson, and Dustin Mercer duo. First pitch to Quelch, it's up high, ball one.
Well, tough challenge for Mishra, facing top of the order for the Giants. Quelch, one of the best hitters in the league.
The 1-0, good pitch that time, down in the dirt. Looked like he went to the splitter for strike one.
Can't mention it enough. Quelch leading in average slugging percentage and OPS. He hits the ball and he hits it far.
As the 1-1 is right down University Boulevard for strike two. Mishra trying to get the strikeout. The 1-2. It is down low. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Quelch is 0 for 1, but has reached on a hit by pitch and scored in the second inning. The 2-2. That one is grounded foul. Started fair, but then the top spin brought it right back to Kelly behind the plate in foul territory.
Kelly wanted to make a play on it, but Sally touched it before maybe would have rolled back into fair territory. So much spin on that ball, no clue where it would have ended up.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike three. The second strikeout for Mishra, and he gets the dangerous Joseph Quelch to go down swinging.
That is some very impressive stuff that Mishra has, but another tough batter in Dylan Wilkinson, a guy whose on-base percentage is almost at 500.
As a defensive shift for the Geese, they're now out in center field, shallow center field at that, as Wilkinson steps up. First pitch is down low, ball one. Wilkinson was one of the many doubles, one of the several doubles, rather, 2 in that inning in the second, and his double scored 2. The first pitch, the second pitch rather, is in there this time.
Yeah, another pitch on the left side of the strike zone, and it's called a strike. I mean, can't complain when he's consistent.
The 1-1. It is grounded right back up the middle. Over there is Fabre, makes the scoop, and the throw on the run. Played well and gets the out on the 4-3.
For a guy who struggled in the field at some point this season, Fabre sure made that look easy. charged that ball and kind of fired it towards Bryce Smith with a submarine toss.
So 2 outs in the inning brings up Dustin Mercer.
Mercer, a junior from Murray State University. A home run and 5 doubles on the season.
And first pitch is fouled off. He actually has 6 now after he got his double in the second inning. His double also plated 2 runs. Part of it is 7-run inning for the Giants. The pitch. It's fouled off again, almost to the same spot. This one a little bit further.
That second inning never seemed to end. It just kept going with extra base hits and 2 RBI doubles.
The 0-2. It's in the dirt. Good eye by Mercer to lay off. Mishra, one of the T-Bolts 7 All-Stars, out there on the mound and working hard. The pitch. That one is up high, just missing the zone. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. It is down low. Mishra wanted the call, but he has to head back to the mound and deliver a full count pitch. Here comes the payoff, the wind, and the delivery. It is a shattered bat through the hole. Fabre picks it up, and the throw to nobody covering at first base. So confusion between Mishra and Smith over there at first.
Wouldn't have mattered. I mean, Mercer's a very speedy guy. He was going down that line with tons of speed and would have gotten there either way.
We'll wait to be sure on the scoring, but
that has to be a single.
Would imagine it would be a single. Mercer over there at first base. And now Drew Vogel to the plate. He is 1 for 1. Doubled and was hit by a pitch in that long second inning. First pitch you'll see from Mishra. It is flied out to center. Garrett has to charge. It's dying and it will drop. A blue base hit for Vogel, his second hit of the night, and 2 in a row without any hard contact for the Giants. So now Ehikoji to the plate as the bat was laying on the field. And the Giants dugout picks it up, and now we can play some baseball.
Still no ruling on whether or not it's a single or an error.
First pitch is down low as the official ruling now in. It's a single. We just waited on the official scoring. Don't want to make any assumptions, as we know how the saying goes. We won't repeat it on air, but for those familiar with the saying, here's the 1-0. That one inside, 2-0, so Mishra running into a speed bump here. 2 on, 2 out, just looking for that 3rd out of the inning. The pitch. That one is in there, called strike 1.
Great pitch from Mishra to get back in it. I can attack the hitter of Koji. Would be 1 for 2 on the night.
Here comes that 2-1 delivery. Swing and a miss.
As I mentioned, Koji is a guy who puts the ball in play and puts it far, but he does swing and miss a lot.
A great breaking ball that time from Mishra. Count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning, 2 runners on base. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss. He got him. Great work by Mishra to get out of the jam and strand a pair. 2 strikeouts in the inning help him through it. So in the top of the 4th, the Giants get no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they left 2 men on base. As we will keep it here, I believe. Or rather, no, the T-Bolts are coming to hit. We get the kids' races around the bases in the next half inning. So we'll step aside here and head to the break. It's the Giants 7 and the T-Bolts nothing on the T-Bolts Radio Network and on Takoma Park City TV. T-Bolts are trying to get their bats going here, and they'll try to do it here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Nathan Law steps up first here to the plate for Silver Spring-Takoma. Law 0 for 1, struck out looking to end the 1st inning. First pitch, it is breaking ball outside, ball 1.
So he's called the left side of the strike zone, but it is not called the right side.
Been consistent all night as the 1-0 is popped up shallow right center field. Making the call is the right fielder Dustin Mercer, and he puts it away for the first out. A quick out number 1 here for Gaithersburg as Eli Putnam to the plate. Putnam was hit by a pitch in that 2nd inning to lead off the 2nd inning, and was later stranded at 2nd base. Hit on the first pitch, hoping to see when he can get a hold of and hit here. First pitch to him is down low, ball 1. Putnam, we mentioned, has 1 home run on the year. 1-0, down and away, ball 2. And that home run was a critical one for the T-Bolts. Helped them overcome a aces team and get the win. That one is blooped out to shallow right field. It's dropping quick, and it will fall. One off the hands of Eli Putnam at the plate, but he's able to fight it off and take it the other way. A bloop single here with 1 out. So traffic on the base pass here, once again for the T-Bolts. Had a base runner on every inning, but just unable to bring him around. But trying to flip the script here, Bryce Smith to the plate.
2 straight innings with a 1-out single.
First pitch to Smith is outside edge, called a strike.
Got to give the umpire credit for the consistency. I mean, it has been there all day long.
That established strike zone is staying put. Something T-Bolts will have to adjust to as that one's fought off opposite field, but hooking foul out into the Gaithersburg bullpen. I'll send one of the broadcast associates down there to go pick it up over at the fence behind the camera. Shout out to everyone at Takoma Park City TV again for the fantastic work they're doing tonight. VO2 outside, a ball on 2 strikes down to Smith. Smith has played a solid first base all year for the T-Bolts, trying to get his bat going at the plate. So Marymount Saint steps back in. In that left-handed batter's box, the pitch. One is lined foul, just by a matter of inches over there at 3rd base. That one was fair over the 3rd base bag, but just kept on hooking and landed just to the left of the line out there and left. And so the T-Bolts trying to get away on, just did not luck out on that last hit, the 1-2. That one is low and away. The check swing, the appeal.
No one there.
Yeah, out to Slosek, who normally at third base, but with the runner on first, he was out at second base. He didn't have a clean look at it, so he made the safe signal. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch from Kahn to Bryce Smith. It is grounded to first. A nice play by Porter. The throw to second is in time. The return throw to first. Kahn covering, it's not in time. But they are able to get the lead runner on the fielder's choice.
So the base runners will just flip-flop. Fielder's choice. And no harm really done for either team.
And the Giants will certainly take it, as there's now 2 outs in the inning. And the runner is still on first base. But now it's Bryce Smith as Connor Kelly to the plate. Kelly is 0 for 1. He flied out to the left. His only out of the ball game. Kahn is ready out there. The first pitch. It is outside, ball 1. On deck is Ryo Fabre if the inning can continue. Pitch. That one is a breaking ball in there, strike 1.
Beautiful curveball. Kahn has looked excellent all night long.
Short lead over there at first base for Bryce Smith. The 1-1. It is a breaking ball again down low. 2-1. So you mentioned Kahn just frequents that curveball, and
it's been more utilized than his fastball.
That's for sure. The long set. Now the pitch. It's a breaking ball again. This one a tad high. Kelly ahead in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Smith at first base. Pitch. That one is lined out to right. It will fall for a base hit. Smith will hold up at second base as Mercer fielded it cleanly. But T-Bolts are mounting a 2-out threat here. There's 2 runners on for Ryo Fabre.
And in order for a team to succeed, it's got to be 1 through 9 that comes up clutch. You got your bottom of the order. They need to do something here to get the T-Bolts back into this game. And taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, Alexandria just hit a 2-run home run. So they've cut the Grays lead just to 1 run now.
Good news there for the T-Bolts faithful, as first pitch by Fabre is wrist-fisted over to first base, and nobody's covering. And that's one way to break your skid. The first hit in 18 at-bats for Fabre. Off the wrist, the slow dribbler that nobody covered first base on. He will certainly take it. He's on the board with a base hit, and the bases are loaded.
Now it's up to Gary Garrett Jr., Lander University Jr., a guy who's hitting under 100 is average, but man, oh man, what a time to come up clutch for your first hit in a long time here.
He was 0 for 3 in his last game against Alexandria. He's trying to come through here. The first pitch, it's down low, ball 1.
And now this has gotten the T-Bolts fans into it.
Yeah, some applause here. T-Bolts fans hoping to get their team on the board. Here's the 1-0 to Garrett. It's up and away, ball 2. And certainly he's maybe not looking for a walk necessarily, but he knows a walk would get the job done. He finds a way on, scores a run, and gets Bobby Lightsell to the plate. Here's the 2-0 from Kahn. It's outside, ball 3.
Can't imagine Garrett will be swinging here if you're Brock Hunter. You put the red light on.
So we'll see what the plan is here.
Maybe even taking 2 straight pitches.
Here's the 3-0. It is right down the pipe for strike 1. So definitely not even a thought of swinging from Garrett, but we'll see.
As it should be.
We'll see here with the 3-1 if that will change.
Garrett's got a good eye, so he knows when to lay off.
Maybe the caution put up, but giving him permission to swing, and he did, and it's down the line, a base hit. 1 run is in, 2 runs are in. The ball holds up at the line. Winding around third is Driscoll. The throw into home. It is in time, but it gets away. Heading to third now is Gary Garrett Jr. And how about that? T-Bolts are on the board with a 3-run double from Gary Garrett Jr.
And what a time to break the slump. This is a ball game, folks, here in Silver Spring, Maryland. It's been fun.
It's the bases clearing double for Gary Garrett Jr.
Broke the slump, that's for sure, and it's going to be scored a double and probably getting over to third on the wild throw from the outfield. But that was, and they're going to give Garrett home because the ball went into the outfield and he was already, they're going to say, past third base.
Well, they're going to say, yeah, it went into the dugout. So, a Little League home run there for Gary Garrett Jr.
Grand slam, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, Little League grand slam, not
a asterisk grand slam.
Yes.
But the T-Bolts will take it. It's a 3-run ball game, folks. Stay tuned. This has been a good one.
Yeah, don't go anywhere if you're on radio or tuning in on television. It's a fantastic game no matter how you're joining us here on T-Bolts Media Company, as I'm so dubbing it here.
And I was thinking they might give Garrett home because he was already halfway through third. And the rule is you get the base you're at plus an extra base. And since he was already at third base, they give him home, which makes sense. That should be what it scored. And the umpires made the right choice.
Yeah, I couldn't see it go out of play from my angle here, but you had the better look at it, and it sure did trickle into the dugout.
He was about 5 feet from third base when the ball went into the dugout. And keep in mind, it took a while for it to actually go in because it was dribbling slowly past the catcher.
So 4 runs will score on the play. And it's now a 7-4 ball game. Bobby Leitzel trying to extend the inning. First pitch swinging, he pops it up to left. Long way to go for Wilson. Still getting there, and it will fall. It's just a long single for Leitzel, but he fights it off, and goes opposite field, something the T-Bolts have been doing here in the inning.
Well, Matthew Kahn is struggling. T-Bolts need to take advantage at the top of the order. This inning is not over yet.
Yeah.
Still plenty to work with, and just a few hits away from making this even more of a ball game.
So the 2-out rally is alive and well for the T-Bolts. They get 4 runs and still threatening with Leitzel on base with the 2-out singles. Now here's Chandler Moeller. First pitch, and when it's grounded, up through the hole. Third baseman Wilkinson tried to make an effort to get it, but just underneath his glove. And it will be another 2-out single here for the T-Bolts. And this is the fight you'd like to see all year from this T-Bolts team. They were down 7-0, but the effort here in the 4th has gotten them back into it. As now,
wouldn't you know it, up to the plate,
wouldn't you know it, Jenkins represents the tying run.
He does, and he's a guy who can put one over the fence with ease. So we'll see how cautious Kahn is, but you got Wah on deck, who's even equally or more dangerous than the batter at the plate.
Jenkins, a very aware of the situation here, a good situational hitter.
Still plenty of ball game. Just try and get Leitzel in from second. You don't need to tie the game here. Of course, that's very helpful. Yeah,
just keep the inning going as time will be called. Everyone resets.
You got Wah and Putnam behind you, who are both fabulous hitters. They can keep the inning going if you can get on base here.
First pitch to Jenkins. Swing and a miss.
Fantastic pitch.
Yeah, went down and away where Jenkins couldn't get to it. He was coming uncorked on that first pitch.
T-Bolts in this inning, they've gotten all their base runners on from singles. I mean,
and then the double from Jenkins.
Rather not Jenkins.
Gary Garrett. The pitch is away. Jenkins at the plate. Utilizing a good eye. Only 3 walks on the year, but has found it recently. Did walk in last night's ball game. 2 on, 2 out here in the inning for the T-Bolts. 4 runs in. Big lead for Leitzel at second base. The pitch. That one is lined out to left field. Full baseball, it does. The ball will be thrown in quickly. A good throw by Wilson will hold the base runners. But
this inning continues.
Yeah, the inning will continue. And the bases are loaded as the Bolts officially bat around.
Second time in this game that teams have batted around, and my scorebook is a fish. Oh, what's going on here? They're going to give Leitzel home plate?
I don't know what's going on here.
So we're not sure, but the second time teams have batted around, and my scorebook is officially ruined, as they're going to say it's interference when he was going from second to third base, which gives him the extra base, and he comes home to score. So this is just a 2-run ball game with runners at first and second.
A very keen eye by the umpires here, as not too happy with the call is the Gaithersburg head coach, Jesse Frawley. But
weird inning. That is for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
T-Bolts will certainly take it, as Leitzel will come around.
And now Watt is the go-ahead run. Would you
Yes.
think we were saying that in the 4th inning just about 10 minutes ago? It's been crazy here.
Now, but as our Neil Levon, our head broadcaster here on the T-Bolts Radio Network, always tells us, no lead is safe in the Ripken League. Ripken League, certainly a source of excitement here.
Watt trying to add to the mantra.
First pitch to Wall is breaking ball outside, ball 1.
So once again, that is a pitch that he doesn't call on the right side of the plate, but on the left side has been calling it.
So Dick O'Connor, he kept his eye on the play. He said the shortstop stepped in front of Leitzel on the play, which led to the interference call. As the 1-0 misses down low.
Good eye by Watt.
And just can't emphasize enough how good of a call that was from the umpires, keeping their eye on the base runner and making that call. Probably an unpopular one for the Gaithersburg faithful. As the 2-1 is curveball in there, 2 balls and a strike. So Waugh at the plate now, just trying to keep the inning going. It's a 7-5 ball game here in Silver Spring at Blair Stadium. The pitch is flied out to left center field. That ball is carrying, and it will be caught by the center fielder. What a play by Joseph Quelch, falling to his rear and making the catch.
And T-Bolts didn't know if he caught it because Garrett Driscoll was trying to wave the runners around, but it was a very nice play by Quelch to make it. And T-Bolts, they might be disappointed they didn't get more there on a beautiful play by Quelch, but they got enough to get back into this game.
That they did, as they get 4 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, and 3 runners left on base. And now we won't step aside here. We're going to get coverage of the kids' races around the bases. One of our favorite events here in between
Always
the action.
drama.
As kid in the white shirt and the kid in the orange shirt are just about even around second base.
Oh, we're in for a good one.
Yeah, they're still even around first and third. This one's going to be close, and hence a tie. That one's too close to call.
I'm giving it to the kid in the white because he's wearing a Thunderbolts t-shirt, and we like that.
I say that's fair, as now we have dueling Thunderbolt t-shirts, kid in the blue hat and the kid in the white hat.
I don't know who to root for now.
They're even around the first and third. And the kid in the white hat has about a 2-stride lead around second base, as kid in the blue hat will wipe out. Oh boy.
What a poor day for this kid to be on television.
Yeah, as he ate dirt heading around second base, and the kid in the white hat will win the second heat. And what a couple of races there. Usually you have one that's a blowout, and well, we had that in second race, but unfortunately it was because of the kid wiping out. But some entertainment here for the fans in between action.
Yes.
So T-Bolts are back in this ball game. They finally got to Matthew Kahn out there on the mound. As usually you see those big innings were the result of the pitcher losing his control or getting frustrated with some calls not going his way. But that one was just all on the T-Bolts hitters. 7 hits in the inning. As T-Bolts now only trail, rather I think, point streak was a little bit behind. As I'll now refresh and try to get you the actual final totals.
As I'm getting text messages from Adam Gotkin,
yes,
who is the broadcaster for the Gaithersburg Giants. He's not in our press box. We don't have enough room for the visitors, so he's set up underneath the bleachers. But very nice guy, and he's been texting me. He's like, this game is nuts. What's going on?
Well, Adam will know more than anyone. He's been in this Ripken League calling games for the Giants for several years, and he called the League All-Star game as well. And he knows no lead is safe.
Yes. When he thinks something's crazy, then it really is.
Ethan Mishra back out on the mound, working into JT Emerald. First pitch in there, strike 1. Emerald is 0 for 1, walked and scored in the second, and also flew out. That one is a slow grounder to Putnam. Has to make a quick throw, and he does, but the throw is wild to first base. backing the play up is Kelly, though, and I imagine that one will be a Blair infield single. The infield here at Blair Stadium eats up any ground ball and makes it difficult for the fielders, and Putnam had to rush his throw and couldn't do so accurately.
Yeah, Putnam can't make the play. No one will. No one will. He's a very good defensive third baseman. That ball did eat it up. He had a charge. Just didn't have enough time to make the throw. We know that John Amaral is a fast runner. Got down the line.
So here now is Matt Ryan. First pitch is breaking ball in there, strike one.
Just like Kahn, heavily relying on the curveball is Ethan Mishra.
Rather the slider
The
with
slider.
curveball-like movement.
Yes.
As he
There you
told
go.
us, more vertical than horizontal movement on his slider. Unorthodox, but it works for him. The 0-1. That one is looked like a good pitch, but called, I guess, outside. A ball and a strike.
So the umpire, Dwight Goodwin, has a strike zone that's shifted about 3 feet over towards the left side.
Not quite that much, but it is certainly one due to him setting up to the left side of a catcher. That one is grounded right back up the middle. Over the bag is Fabre. He tags second himself, and the throw to first in time. Digging it out of the dirt is Smith, and that gets the approval of the T-Bolt faithful here at Blair. Loud applause for that double play.
It's a very nice crowd here on a beautiful Friday night in early July. Why not come and support the Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts, or any team in the Ripken League for that matter? Great chance for many of the people living here in Four Corners to come and watch a ball game, and they're not being disappointed, that is for sure.
No, as hopefully everyone tuning in on Takoma Park City TV is also thoroughly entertained, as first pitch is in there to Porter. Looked like the split. Porter is 0 for 2. The 0-1. Swinging strike. Of course, for more information on the T-Bolts, check out our website at tbolts.org. Information on tickets, team roster, schedule, everything you need to know about the T-Bolts is located on that website. The pitch. That one is fouled off.
And to Ian's point, we hope you're enjoying listening to me and Ian, but of course you can listen to all of our games, not on TV, but on the T-Bolts Radio Network at tbolts.org/radio.
And talking to the fine folks here, it sounds like we'll be back on Takoma Park City TV for next game against Bethesda, as that one got away from Mishra. Usually you hear 55-foot breaking
like
ball.
45.
That one, yeah, 45-foot breaking ball.
Yeah, that was the real first miss we've seen from Mishra
Yes.
tonight.
That one looked like it slipped as well. The 1-2. That one's down low. Count evens. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mishra working and fires. That one is grounded over to Leitzel. He fields it. Pumps and throws in time to first base. A clean defensive inning for the T-Bolts, and they are happy to get it. So the Giants get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We will step aside here on T-Bolts Media for a break, but don't go anywhere. It's a competitive ball game. It's the Gaithersburg Giants 7 and the Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts 5 here on T-Bolts Radio Network and on Takoma Park City TV. Back here to Blair Stadium in Silver Spring, Maryland. It's a 7-5 ball game. Gaithersburg Giants lead the T-Bolts, but the T-Bolts are on the march. And they're coming to hit, and for the call, here is my broadcast partner, Jacob Goldberg.
Thank you so much, Ian. We're here on a fabulous night in Silver Spring-Takoma Park, whatever region you want to call it. Four Corners, all of the above, Maryland. As taking them out, I believe, is a new pitcher.
Yes.
Number 1. So I'll look up at their roster, and that is Cameron King, a junior from Mount St. Mary's University. He has pitched 7 games, 22 innings, and has a 6.04 ERA.
So I'll tabulate the final line for Matthew Kahn. It was smooth sailing for him up until that 4th inning when the T-Bolts read the book on him and finally got their bats going. They hadn't scored more than 4 runs since before the All-Star break, Jacob, and they finally got it going, and they're going to have to keep it going against the new pitcher.
And for the T-Bolts, the good news continues. Of course, they still have a lot of work to do in this game, down by 2, but at least the Grays and Aces are tied in the top of the 6th inning in DC, a game that T-Bolts fans should really take notice to because DC and T-Bolts tied for the last place in the league, and the last place in the league at the end of the season is sitting on the couch for the playoffs, so don't want to be left out.
So Kahn's final line as we get it in here into the booth, he pitched 4 innings and allowed 5 runs, only 3 of them earned on 8 hits, no walks, and struck out 4.
The first pitch from King to Putnam is down low and outside. Ball 1 gets towards the netting. So a good start for Putnam, who has already been hit by pitch and singled in the 4th inning. Started off the rally in that 4th inning after Wah flied out. Wah actually was retired twice in that inning, so not something you would expect from the T-Bolts cleanup hitter. Second pitch to Putnam, again in the same place, and it's 2-0.
And interesting to note, both were fly balls to center field.
Yes.
The second one, which was tagged out there, but a great play by Joseph Quelch, ended the threat.
Yeah, robbed the T-Bolts from tying the game, that's for sure. So it's a 2-0 count to Eli Putnam to lead off the home 5th, and it swung on and missed. Good breaking ball.
Important to note also that the Geese have returned, and they're
now everywhere.
They're now out in center field.
They stick together, that's for sure.
Yes.
They're waddling in a path. 5 of them at the 403 sign. So the 1-2, or short correction, it's the 2-1, is down low, and it's ball 3. So T-Bolts a ball away from getting another leadoff base run.
Putnam has reached twice in this game, and once as a leadoff man in the 2nd.
Hoping that trend continues, and it will. Ball 4 thrown outside the strike zone. And T-Bolts have trying to get something brewing, tie up this game, as the crowd has very much gotten into it over the last inning and a half.
Yeah, it was kind of quiet here at Blair Stadium up until that rally in the 4th, and that got the fans into this ball game, and that's how you can start the comeback, is get the fans involved and get them behind you.
So now the first pitch to Bryce Smith goes to the backstop, and going to second base is Eli Putnam. I thought it hit Smith, but he managed to get out of the way.
The updated line for Kahn now reads 4 runs earned of his 5 that he allowed. So, as we get a Mount visit here, we can also kind of look at Cameron King as he's talking to Amaral, trying to get things straightened out. You mentioned the 2-0 record for him, but that 6.04 ERA, 21 strikeouts on the year, though. A stat that, rather, these are his stats from Lackawanna College.
Oh.
So,
you're right.
Look at his player profile. I don't believe he's pitched yet this year.
So that is from his collegiate career. We had the wrong stats up.
Yeah.
It's a 1-0 to Bryce Smith, the runner on second now, and it's taken down low and outside for ball 2. So T-Bolts are going to take advantage of King, who has struggled to find command since coming in for Matthew Kahn.
And indeed, this is his first appearance in the Ripken League this season. So
what a chance to prove yourself, right?
Yes.
A wild game here in Silver Spring as Smith swings and misses at a ball that might have been a little up high. One he would like back, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, King transferring after attending Lackawanna College. Now will be a Mountaineer next season at Mount St. Mary's University.
And pitch to Smith is driven to deep right field. Getting over there is Dustin Mercer. He makes the grab, but going from second to third, or trying to, is Putnam. A great throw, but it's cut off, and going to third base with one out is Eli.
Yeah, an outstanding throw by Mercer. We've seen his arm, and he's got a very good one out there in right field, but fortunately enough for the T-Bolts, Smith hit it just deep enough to advance the runner. And now we'll see the defensive shift here for Gaithersburg if they try to cut down the runner that would bring this to a one-run ball game.
Certainly helps that he hit it towards right field, not left field, to advance that runner to third base. And Putnam is speedy. So it brings up Connor Kelly, who really just has to put the ball in play without a shallow pop fly, and most likely will score his teammate Eli Putnam at third base. T-Bolts down 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch from King is right down the middle. That's called ball.
Looked a little bit low from here, as the corner infielders here for Gaithersburg are pulled in, but the middle infield is back. So a grounder to the corners would likely keep the runner at third, but the grounder up the middle would do the trick.
So my eyes to see me, the count 1-0. Here comes the pitch. It's again down low, and coming home to score is Putnam. The pitch is wild, and the T-Bolts now are down 1 run.
And they will certainly take it. A wild pitch allowed by Cameron King will make this a 1-run ball game, and we've seen so many times this year control issues have haunted teams, and Gaithersburg are hoping it doesn't, see their lead vanish here as a left-hander, a tall left-hander out there in the bullpen is getting ready for Gaithersburg.
So now it's a 2-0 count from King to Kelly. The pitch is swung on and drilled down the line. It's fair. It's going to be an extra base hit for Kelly. It hits the chalk, and he gets into second base with a stand-up double. And the T-Bolts have yet another runner in scoring position.
And this is a kind of a T-Bolts offense that we haven't seen for a while. They're just seeing the ball extremely well and hitting the ball to all fields, as Kelly that time goes right down the left field line, just barely in fair territory. Another extra base hit for the T-Bolt catcher, and that will be his second double of the year.
So already there's some action in the Gaithersburg bullpen, as King has gotten into some early trouble trying to save the 1-run lead. It was a 7-0 lead early for the Gaithersburg Giants. T-Bolts have scored 6 in a row, and the madness has ensued here in Blair. First pitch to the 8-hole hitter, Ryo Fabre, is down low in the dirt. Nice pick by Amaral to keep it in front of him.
And the bottom of the lineup due up for the T-Bolts, but that's what we said last inning, as there's going to be a now visit here. And actually, coach is talking to the home plate umpire, Dwight Godwin. So now he's going to head out to the mound. Not sure what that was all about, but Fabre will have to step out, collect his thoughts, as King will get a talking to from one of the coaches out there for Gaithersburg.
I've said it once, I've said it a million times. The Cal Ripken Collegiate Baseball League never disappoints, and I'm so glad that this is the game we get to bring to you on Takoma Park Television, because it's been a very fun one so far.
Yeah, the fans, if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome to some chaos. Because you might figure, if you're a baseball fan, a 7-0 lead or in the early stages, it's fairly safe. But Ripken League, no lead is safe. Not even if you're up by double digits. You can't sit back and rest easy. It all takes 1 inning, as T-Bolts saw 5 cross in the 4th, to change the course of the game.
T-Bolts a base hit away from tying the game. Here comes a 1-0 pitch from Cameron King to Ryo Fabre. The pitch is down low. Fabre check swings, but held up, and it's 2-0.
Good check there by Fabre. Saw the pitch was low and took it.
It was low and outside. So now another hitter's count with Gary Garrett Jr. on deck. Had a huge bases clearing double in his last inning. Fabre going to ground it. Kelly's going to try and go to third, but he might be caught dead. He is. Fabre reaches first base safely, but Kelly is thrown out at third.
And one that thought he could push it and try to force a bad throw maybe, but clean throw by Vogel to Wilkinson retires Kelly, and now it gets harder to score another run in the inning.
Not the smartest base running from Kelly, but they've been aggressive recently, have the T-Bolts on the base paths. And Fabre certainly a guy who can steal a base, so we'll see if he tries to get into scoring position for the Lander University center fielder, Gary Garrett Jr. He doubled and came home on a 2 RBI double that actually scored 4 runs.
Yes.
A Little League home run, grand slam.
So we'll see if Fabre tries to push it. We know Amaral has an arm, as the only attempt down to second base was chucked out into center field.
So here comes the pitch from King to Garrett. It's inside. Count starts off 1-0 with the leadoff hitter, Bobby Leitzel, on deck. So what a fun game we've had so far. Fans loving it. Definitely worth the admission, that is for sure. The 1-0 to Garrett is swung on and popped up foul. It'll go into the adjacent softball field behind us.
And one thing's for certain, the T-Bolts have made the adjustment. Early on, they were kind of frustrated with the strike zone from Dwight Godwin behind the plate, but since learning that he's giving the left side of the plate to both hitters, hitters have adjusted and they've made a lot of contact.
The 1-1 from King to Garrett is swung on and drilled into shallow right field. It's going to be a base hit. Fabre will stop at second base and is safe. So back-to-back innings with a base hit for Gary Garrett Jr.
And that one was right by the Blair Geese out there. Got a good look at that one. And it fell in front of Mercer. A great line drive single, as now there's going to be another mound visit, and that will mean we're going to get a new pitcher out here at Blair Stadium.
And how things would be different if Kelly didn't try and go to third there.
Yes.
Of course, that changes your entire perspective of how you play the inning, but it certainly doesn't help he got thrown out trying to advance 90 feet. So we're going to see a new pitcher, as coming out of the game is Cameron King with just 0.2 innings of work. Coming in is number 18, that's Ethan Harden.
Harden, a 6-foot-tall left-hander, rising sophomore at Belmont University. Has pitched in 5 games this year and has been excellent. Yet to allow an earned run over 5 2/3 innings. Only 5 base runners, 3 hits, 2 walks, has struck out 10. And this is the first time the T-Bolts have seen him as a pitcher. Of course, one of the many multi-talented players here in the Ripken League that can play both, can hit and pitch. As a T-Bolts have seen him hit this year, and he's 2 for 5 with 3 walks over 2 appearances against the T-Bolts. Rather, excuse me, T-Bolts have seen him pitch. He did come in out of the bullpen in 1 game, pitched an inning, allowed 2 hits, but no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. So the T-Bolts have tagged him for the most hits he's allowed in an outing this year. But other than that, still no runs allowed for Harden on the year, and T-Bolts trying to break that trend.
Right now, the T-Bolts, they don't need many hits, they just need 1.
Yes.
As Fabre's got speed on second base, if Leitzel can drop one into the shallow outfield, it most likely will score him and be the tying run.
And you know, Jacob, you mentioned how much Kelly getting thrown out changes the complexion of this inning.
Yes.
The T-Bolts could have already had this ball game tied after that single by Garrett, and also talk about Gary Garrett really finding a swing here as of late.
That has been true. I mean, he almost has doubled his hit total in just 1 game. Goes from 3 hits to 5 hits. And not only were they, singles and a double, they were both hard hit, which is a great sign that he's seeing the ball well, because a lot of his hits so far this season have been weak dribblers that he's beat out.
Yeah, and that's, really changed here. He got his 2nd extra base hit of the year with, that liner back in the 4th inning, and it scored 3 runs, and he would later come around to score himself after the ball was thrown away. And, it won't go down in the scorebooks as a home run, but, when you look at it, he came up to the plate at home, and he later crossed home plate with his own doing. So you talk about how speed makes a difference, and certainly that is the case with Gary Garrett.
I mean, and this is a guy at Lander University just this past spring who was an above-average hitter. So certainly it's been very uncharacteristic of him to play the way he has and trying to get back into his groove. So it brings up Bobby Leitzel, the top of the T-Bolts order, as chaos has ensued, a base hit away from tying the game after being down 7-0 in the 2nd inning. We love the Cal Ripken lead.
Yes, we do.
So fresh count, fresh pitcher, it's Ethan Harden pitching to Bobby Leitzel.
And hopefully you love it too.
As pitch that just misses, ball 1.
You're noticing now the home plate umpire, Godwin, now setting up to the right side of the catcher. So we'll see if that might change the strike zone here.
1-0 the count, Harden to Leitzel, 2 runners on, Fabre and Garrett. The 1-0 is swung on and fouled back behind the plate, count evens.
Leitzel, if he could pull one, that might allow Garrett to advance. We know he has a good set of wheels.
T-Bolts fans here would go crazy with a game-tying base hit. They're waiting to erupt, but Bobby Leitzel needs to come through. The 1-1 from Hardin is swung on and grounded right towards the first baseman. It gets by him, but they're going to recover. Throw to first is not in time, and the bases are loaded. A wacky play as the weirdness continues here tonight.
Yeah, that was one that it took a big hop off the infield grass, and just one that Porter couldn't handle. They still had a chance to get him out at first base, but Ryan's flip to the pitcher covering Hardin couldn't quite get there. And now, all of a sudden, bases are loaded, still with 2 outs.
And Chandler Muller, guy who has struck out twice but has singled. And a single can give the T-Bolts the lead. You heard me right. First pitch from Hardin is down low, ball 1.
So they will give an error to the first baseman, Porter, on that play, allowing Leitzel to reach. So important to note that, because any run further that might come around to score would be unearned.
Hardin's pitch is down low, ball 2. And even with a 2-0, you might have a red light here if you're Chandler Muller.
Yeah, might be anxious at the plate with 2 strikeouts to avoid another one, but just swing with caution, I would say, at the plate.
Agreed. Here comes Hardin's pitch. It's swung on by Muller, driven into deep left field, over the head of the left fielder. It's off the wall. 1 run comes in. Garrett right behind him. Leitzel behind him. It's a bases clearing double. Chandler Muller gives the T-Bolts a 2-run lead.
And Chandler Muller, Mr. Clutch. I'm calling him that now, Mr. Clutch. He came up with the home run a couple days ago to get the T-Bolts on the board against Alexandria. And now all of a sudden here, comes up in a big spot. T-Bolts go from trailing by 1 run, to ahead by 2.
Are we in March? Because the madness is just insane.
I would say so. T-Bolts have turned this game on their head.
Wow, and against one of the best pitchers in the league, Ethan Hardin, it doesn't matter. This hot T-Bolts lineup is not stopping, and it brings up the heart of the order, Ian Jenkins, with his teammate from Lander, Muller, on second base. What a crazy night here at Montgomery Blair High School. First pitch taken down low, ball 1 to Ian Jenkins, and the T-Bolts are 2 batters away from batting through the lineup for the 2nd straight inning.
It messes up our scorebook, but I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
If it's in the interest of fun, it's all my approval.
Certainly fun for the T-Bolts fans right now. As it's down low, it gets away, but staying at second base is Muller.
Yeah, smart play there. Just don't want to run yourself out of the inning. And Muller holds up at second base.
Muller has been nothing short of brilliant since coming in that game in South County. He has been a huge, huge hitter in that top of the order. He is certainly going to see a lot more playing time as we get into the dog days. 2-0 to Jenkins. He's swinging. He drills it right towards Drew Vogel. The throw on the first is in time. That ends the inning. But it's not without a bunch of damage. The T-Bolts, they take the lead. 3 hits, 4 runs, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. We're going to keep it here because we're going to have the Pizza Box Derby. But Ian, what a crazy inning.
Yeah, you know, you go in, you trail by, still, it was only 2 runs coming in, but you started this game down 7-0. The outlook looked grim, but T-Bolts strike for 9 runs over the last 2 innings. As, you know, we head to the 6th. It's now 9-7 as the Pizza Box Derby is underway. It was head-to-head, and...
Oh, collision!
Well...
What is it? Is this hockey or is this baseball?
Yeah, it was a collision. I would say the girl in the white T-Bolt shirt would get the win because she actually delivered the pizza.
Okay, you know, as long as my delivery is safe,
yes, all
that matters.
And also within that 30-minute time frame.
Yes,
too. I would like my pizza to be fresh and hot.
She will get a nice tip,
yes.
That's all I'm saying. So coming back to take the mound is Ethan Mishra, and why not?
Yes, he came into some trouble there in that last inning of work, but as he's done all year long, he was able to pitch out of it and pitch around some trouble. And if he can keep the T-Bolts ahead here as we Jay, we only headed to the top of the 6th inning.
I can't even fathom what has happened here tonight,
yeah.
but it has been nothing short of crazy, and just hoping it continues. The T-Bolts, we know, I mean, this is the 6th inning. There's still plenty of time for a a Giants lineup that has scored 7 runs in 1 inning. They can certainly do it again.
And, you know, you find the T-Bolts here with the lead. It's just been trying to hold those leads as the T-Bolts have run into some trouble this year. But you have the likes of Ethan Mishra out there and another couple of arms out there in the bullpen, ready to go if need be to try to lock up this victory.
5 runs in the home 4th and 4 runs in the home 5th have given the T-Bolts a 9-7 lead. Mishra trying to keep it that way for another half inning. Here comes the first pitch to Joshua Wilson. It's inside and it barely escapes him. Not sure how he didn't get hit by the pitch.
Yeah, he's really ducked out of the way of it really quick, and fortunately enough for him, saving face quite literally at the plate.
Wilson, 218 average coming into tonight. Takes the L1 and swings and misses. Mishra's 1-1 to Wilson is a pretty good one that just misses low.
So Wilson at the plate is 0-for-2, but did reach on an error in the 2nd, and that error allowed 1 run to score and extend the inning.
Pitched low and inside, ball 3-1. I am still just in awe at the game we have seen here tonight.
We still got a long way to
Still
go.
have tons more
go.
baseball to go, and that's the best part. That one is popped up. We'll get a full count pitch upcoming from Ethan Mishra to Joshua Wilson. The 5 innings of action we've had tonight have been more exciting than pretty much all of the season combined.
Roller coaster of emotions here at Blair.
The 3-2 is drilled, and that one is towards Jenkins. It's a line drive. Nice piece of hitting by Wilson, but doesn't matter. The range of Jenkins is enough to get to the ball, and it's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, ball just hung up there for Jenkins. Looked like it was going to fall for a nice line drive single, but the warm and humid weather here allowed that ball to hang up, and Jenkins made a nice play out there and right.
Well, if anyone's going to start a late inning rally for your team, it's Joseph Quelch. He is the best hitter in the league, and I don't think that's, you know, a bad thing to say. He has easily been one of the best hitters in the league. And he takes the first pitch up and away, leading the league in average, slugging percentage, and OPS. I mean, that is just phenomenal. Not to mention he is very speedy and plays very good defense. 1-0 to Quelch is in there, strike 1.
And even though the Giants lost last night, that was no fault of his. He went 5 for 6 against DC in last night's ball game.
He is going to make you work, that is for sure. The 1-1 is fouled off into shallow right field. Trying to get there is Bryce Smith, but it lands into the T-Bolts dugout. Still no action in the T-Bolts bullpen. None in the Giants either, so I have to imagine Ethan Harden will be coming back out.
Would imagine so. He pitched fairly well, but you know, kind of
none of the runs earned to him.
Yeah, inherited a tough decision or a tough spot as Jenkins will chase off some of the geese from his position out there in right field.
So here comes the pitch from Mishra. It's swung on and fouled down the third baseline. Count goes to, or stays 1-2. And
that's going to be something that, you know, is something of note throughout the rest of the year. The Blair Geese are here to stay, and they're stubborn out there for the outfielders.
Blair Pig, Blair Geese, what's next?
Blair Elephant?
We got to get a zookeeper for our stadium, that's for sure. 1-2 count from Mishra. It's fouled off behind home plate, right near us in the press box.
We'll channel some old-fashioned stories that have the Blair sheep to graze on the grass and trim it here.
The crop dusters are the animal-type theme team in our league, but I think we should be, with the amount of wildlife we encounter on a daily basis. 1-2 pitch coming from Mishra to Quelch. It swung on and popped up towards Ryle Fabre, trying to track it down in the light, and he makes the grab for the second out. So they get a tough batter in Quelch out, and there's 2 men gone to begin the 6th.
And that one was hit a mile in the air. And it's a very tough play once that ball gets above the lights, trying to keep a track of it and make the catch. But Fabre, fortunately enough for him, was able to find it. It looked like he lost it for a second, but located it back quickly and made the catch.
9-7 to score. 2 outs for Ethan Mishra. He takes the first pitch of the at-bat inside. Wilkinson does. Count goes 0-1.
Wilkinson 1 for 2 with 2 RBI. He does have that 2-run double in the second.
Good piece of hitting in that second inning. Ball's outside to even up the count. That second inning seemed to go on forever, but the fourth inning and fifth inning the T-Bolts have had has been even crazier. Swing and a miss. Way in front of it was Wilkinson. He went on to one knee to make the swing attempt.
That's a product of a good mix of pitches out there for Mishra.
He is on it right now, that is for sure. Trying to keep it going. 1 strike away from getting out of the away 6th inning. Here comes the 1-2 from Mishra to Dylan Wilkinson. And it just misses. An area of the plate that's been called all night long, but there Dwight Godwin not giving the call.
I mentioned Godwin changed his positioning behind home plate. He was over to the left shoulder of the catcher. Now he's over the right shoulder. So maybe that gap will close.
2-2 from Mishra. It is in there. Strike 3 looking. T-Bolts get out of the top of the 6th. They go to the bottom. No hits, no runs, no errors, no runners left on base. Score 9-7 on the T-Bolts Radio Network. And we're back here on the T-Bolts Radio Network. The score reads 9-7. The T-Bolts lead the Giants with a chance to add on more in the bottom of the 6th. Coming up for the T-Bolts is Eli Putnam, Bryce Smith, and Connor Kelly. Or corrections, Nathan Waugh, Eli Putnam, and Bryce Smith. So Nathan Waugh comes up. Has not had a hit tonight. Struck out and flown out twice. So even with the T-Bolts putting up big numbers, he has not been a part of it, which is not what you would expect from the All-Star. Harden still into pitch. Here comes the first of the at-bat. Taken by Waugh right down the pipe.
So getting things sorted out on Point Streak, our official scoring site. By error of Point Streak, Tyshawn Sellers was listed as batting third, but of course that is Ian Jenkins.
And that ball just outside, a pretty good looking pitch. Count goes 1-1, so I'm glad we sorted that out.
Yes.
As DC and Alexandria have a good game going there, 3-3 in the top of the 8th. So another great game across the league as Waugh takes it outside. And the other game tonight, Bethesda and South County, is final. Bethesda wins it 7-0. They have looked very good recently. They beat the T-Bolts 13-1 last night. 2-1 coming from Harden to Nathan Waugh, and he's going to call time as Harden took a while to deliver the pitch.
And looking in at that Alexandria Grays game, the Aces are threatening. 2-1 with 1 out there in the top of the 8th.
Wouldn't the T-Bolts love to have the Aces score run as the ball's down low, 3-1 to Nathan Waugh.
Of course, T-Bolts have to handle business here at Blair to even worry about what DC's doing first.
That is very wise, my friend. Yeah, still plenty of game left, but they need to hold on to a 2-run lead. 3-1 to Waugh. That one is just in the outer edge of the strike zone. We'll get a payoff pitch upcoming.
I have to imagine Waugh is going to be swinging hard here.
He wants to get on the hit column, that's for sure. 0 for 3 tonight. The full count pitch from Harden is taken by Waugh, looking strike 3.
Yeah, that one was right there on the corner as was not a fan, and it's just been last couple of games he's kind of struggled to find that command of the strike zone. Kind of talking back and talking to a lot of umpires here. That one was a quality pitch from Ethan Harden.
Wall needs to know how valuable he is to this team and goes back to the dugout. Can't afford to have him be kicked out of the rest of the game. So Eli Putnam comes up, has reached base all 3 times he's come, and he takes ball 1 outside.
So looking back and finishing up Cameron King's line after Harden came in relief for him. 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 3 runs, only 1 was earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts.
Putnam again taking low outside, ball 2. Putnam has been phenomenal tonight at the plate. Hit by a pitch, walked, and singled.
A little bit of everything there
Yes.
for him.
He fouls it off the catcher, Amaral, but he's okay. Count goes to 2-1.
Good thing that he's okay.
Now if he can reach on an error, he would get the non-hit cycle.
Oh, I'm sure he would love to just find his way on himself,
Yes.
but that would be an interesting method of reaching base.
Not every day you see someone walk, get hit by pitch, and reach on an error. Would be a very impressive feat. 2-1 coming. Harden and swung on and missed by Putnam. A good pitch up in the zone.
But of course, there's other possibilities. You have catcher's interference.
Yes, of course.
Reaching on a
So not really, but you know.
yeah, reaching on a base runner getting hit by a batted ball.
Yes.
There's a little bit of everything, but you know the most common methods of reaching.
Yes. So 2-2 pitch coming up. It's swung on by Putnam into shallow foul territory, and it's just dropped by the first baseman, Bryce Porter. That was a play he probably should have made, and it just popped out of his glove. So Putnam gets to go back into the batter's box to keep his at-bat alive.
New life for Putnam, as you know, kind of overrunning the ball over there was Porter, as he had to reach behind him a little bit and arced himself too far. Ball was in his glove, but it popped out, and well, will likely go down as an E3, allowing the at-bat to continue.
Certainly will be an error, that is for sure. Gaithersburg has 4 errors on the night now.
No error, actually, from the official score.
That is just high. Not sure where that one missed, but it did. And it's 3-2. So another full count pitch from Harden. He's worked a lot in each of his first few at-bats. It's swung on by Putnam and fouled off. The at-bat will continue. Harden already in the 22 pitches.
So we're informed that there is a small spot in the field right there in foul territory where the lights don't exactly cover, and they're theorizing that he definitely lost the ball in the lights, so they're giving him, giving Porter the benefit of the doubt over there at first.
Still 4 errors for the Giants. They struggled defensively tonight. Here comes the payoff pitch to Putnam. It's again fouled off, and the at-bat stays alive. He is making the pitcher work for the out, that's for sure.
A great at-bat here, as this will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. So, you know, you don't see many of these extended at-bats, at least to this degree in the Ripken League, but Putnam breaking the track.
Another payoff pitch. 1 man gone. Nobody on base in T-Bolts here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Putnam looking to get aboard. He takes it up high, and it's ball 4. Second straight inning with a walk.
And that's the product of working that count for as long as he did. He was behind early, but just would not go down, as Putnam finds his way on with a 10-pitch walk. And now Bryce Smith coming up again with a runner on base and 1 out.
T-Bolts look to add on. There was some action in the Gaithersburg bullpen, with Harden going long in each of his first few at-bats. Smith takes the first pitch up high, ball 1.
And a moment ago, there was some action in the T-Bolt pen, as Connor Kelly was out there throwing. Maybe just keeping his arm warm behind the plate, as now he's on deck to hit.
We have seen some position players come in and pitch. Lyle Miller Green did it earlier. As the throw back is not in time, Putnam safe. Smith tonight is 0 for 3, reach on a fielder's choice in the 4th inning. Taken just outside, ball 2.
And definitely credit to Dwight Godwin behind the plate. He adjusted where he was positioned, and now that outside pitch has gone away. It's now call the ball, and I think rightfully so.
Yeah. Consistency is all we care for with umpires, and he certainly changed his own. As that one is inside. Nice curveball that breaks last minute to catch the corner. So it's a 2-1 count now. So the first baseman, Bryce Smith, the catcher, Kelly on deck. And Eli Putnam, the third baseman, standing on first. 2-1, Putnam goes, and Smith fouls it off, so hit and run there.
Yeah, definitely was on as Putnam got a good break over there for second base, but Smith fouled the pitch off, and Putnam has to retreat.
So count 2-2. Pitcher Ethan Harden, the batter Bryce Smith. Smith looking for his first base hit of the night. Besides Smith and Waugh, every other T-Bolt has at least had one single. As the Geese have made their way into center field. Smith swings and misses. Foul tipped into the glove of Amaral, and it's out number 2.
Tough strikeout there as there's 2 outs now, but now Connor Kelly tasked with keeping the inning going. T-Bolts, well, we've seen it in this ballgame. We've seen a 7-0 lead evaporate, and a 2-run lead, by all means, not safe.
Well, we can confirm now that Alexandria in the top of the 8th has taken the lead over DC. So good news again for the T-Bolts fans.
Of course, business still.
Yes, of course,
to take
but even
care
if
of
the
tonight,
T-Bolts
yeah.
fall tonight, they do want DC to fall as well to keep pace. Fresh count now for Connor Kelly, the catcher with the runner on first. He takes it down the middle, strike 1.
Kelly is 2 for 3. He had that big double back in the 5th that started the rally.
0-1 count. Comes the pitch, or actually they're going to pick off Putnam at first, but he's back safely. See if Putnam goes again for a hit and run situation.
With 2 outs, it's kind of a dangerous game to be playing. Yeah. But if it works, it will pay large dividends here for the T-Bolts.
The 0-1 swung on and missed by Kelly. Some good pitches in a row by Ethan Harding to get ahead of the catcher. Oh, 2 count. Ryle Fabre is in the on-deck circle. The inning continues. Pitch from Harden is fouled off. Max Decker tried to make a leaping grab, but it was just above his head. So the at-bat continues. As now the Geese tracker. They are now in left field. They have made their way all across. They own this field, that is for sure. They are just making it their home.
It's the Geese world, and we're just living in it.
That is for sure. Oh, 2 pitches to Kelly. Swung on and shallow left field, it drops. Shallow right field, correction, it drops. And T-Bolts get a 2-out single.
2 men on, 2 down.
Yeah, Kelly just went the other way, and it's worked out so well for him in this ball game. And it's keeps on going.
So the Humane Society will love that Connor Kelly went oppo.
Yes.
Keeping those Geese unharmed. And now standing at the dish is Ryle Fabre, who has reached base in each of his last 2 at-bats, 1 via the fielder's choice and 1 on a single. Trying to extend the T-Bolts lead here. He swings and misses at the first pitch he sees from Harden. We are an animal-friendly stadium. We got to make that clear.
Yes.
Hoping the Geese are unharmed, but they are certainly in harm's way, that's for sure. 9-7 the score. The Thunderbolts lead the Giants. The bottom of the 6th inning, and Fabre takes the 2nd straight pitch for a strike. Already past 9 o'clock. Still not out of the 6th inning. So much action here tonight.
It's an entertaining ball game nonetheless.
The 0-2. Fabre just pokes it to keep himself alive. Good contact made.
Yeah, he fought off a really good pitch from Harden.
0-2 pitch, 2 men on. The Geese have set up camp left to Darren.
The Geese are settled out there in left field. They're not going to budge anytime soon.
0-2 count now to Fabre. Here comes the pitch from Harden. It swung on and fouled off to keep himself alive. So some good pitches that he's fouled off to live to see another pitch.
It's just what's been the difference here for the T-Bolts. They've commanded the strike zone well at the plate. Fouling off pitches that are borderline and waiting for that one mistake, or a mistake might never come, then they might work their walks, which works out the same, and it works out well.
On deck, Gary Jr., the center fielder. 2 hits in his last 2 plate appearances. The T-Bolts would love to get to him, but they need Fabre to reach base. Fabre calls time at home plate, steps off. (0-2) from Harden, and Fabre swings and misses. So that ends the 6th inning. T-Bolts, they can't get any runs across. They get no runs on 1 hit, correction, and 2 runners left on base. So we'll go to, we're gonna stay here. There's another little kid event. It's the water balloon toss.
Yes, the water balloon race. Trying to get the most amount of water in the bucket in, well, time doesn't necessarily matter in this one, I don't think. Just as long as you, finish your amount of water balloons in the time allotted for the race. It's all about who gets the most water in. You have to burst your balloon. You can't just set it in. As there you go. Sometimes you gotta slam it, and that gets the largest ovation from the crowd, but not always the most effective way of doing it. As the race is completed. Now it's completed. One kid had some trouble getting his last balloon open, and now it is. Hard to tell. I think the kid...
We don't get a good view of the kid's activities here, but...
Just looking like the kid with the blue bucket might have won that race.
But of course, it's a very family-friendly environment here at Blair, and we recommend anyone to come down to a game. Very nice facility the T-Bolts have here at Montgomery Blair High School. And
convenient, right off of 495 and University Boulevard here, Route 193. Really easy to get to, no matter where you're located.
And now Ethan Mishra comes out yet again. He has held the Giants in check, looking to keep it going with a 2-run cushion in the 7th inning.
And he's going to face 3, 4, and 5 here for the Giants. So tough task ahead, but he's been working well so far, trying to keep it going.
Dustin Mercer tonight, a double, a single, and a ground out to the first baseman. He takes the first pitch strike from Mishra to begin the 7th inning. That one again inside, strike 2.
Mishra nearing 65 pitches here, so has been efficient, but just have to keep one eye on that pitch count. 105 the limit here for the Ripken.
It is very true. As Mercer now flies one towards Chandler Moeller, he's going to come in about 3 steps, make the grab, and there's one gone here to begin the top of the 7th.
T-Bolts are happy to get that out recorded, get a quality hitter retired.
Brings up Drew Vogel, a shortstop, has reached base all 3 times. A double, a single, and a hit by pitch.
As the next pitch will be the 65th from Mishra's night.
First pitch is swung on and popped up into shallow center field. That'll drop for a base hit. Vogel gets aboard, and the Giants have a 1-out base runner.
Vogel has reached every time he's come to the plate. Hit by a pitch in his second at-bat in the 2nd inning, and also a double, a single, and a single since then. So he's been consistent tonight for Gaithersburg.
So Koji, the DH, comes up to bat. Started off his night well with a single, but has struck out in his last 2 plate appearances. First pitch of the at-bat from Mishra is up high, ball 1. So we'll see if Vogel wants to test the arm of Connor Kelly. As he takes the lead, but does not go, and swinging and missing at the pitch is Ihai Okoji, 1-1.
Vogel is 4 for 5 on stolen base attempts this year.
But down by 2, you certainly need more than 1 run.
Yeah. Does help to get that 1 run in scoring position, though.
Infield at double play depth for the 1-1 pitch. It's down low, and he will get into scoring position. And now the ball goes into the dugout, and he might get to third base. They're going to say he's still at second. But based off the rule book, he should be at third, I believe.
Well, I don't think he quite reached second base quite yet. So, unfortunate break there for the T-Bolts. Is the free base for Vogel on the wild pitch.
So first wild pitch of Mishra's night. And now there's a runner in scoring position for Ihai Koji, 2-1 count. Two-one. Swung on and missed, strike 2.
Koji has struck out twice tonight. Mishra would love to get a third.
Those strikeouts came against Mishra, according to notes. They say the third time's a charm. Hopefully for Koji it is. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed.
And give him the hat trick. 3 strikeouts for Okoji tonight. And just credit to the T-Bolt pitching staff. They've figured out a hot hitter.
Now JT or John Amaral, whichever name he prefers us to call him by, comes up to the dish. So far tonight, a base on balls, a single, and a fly out towards Chandler Muller.
Been calling him JT for a majority of the night.
So
yeah, I'll stick with that one.
Fresh count to Amaral. With Vogel at second base, and the first pitch is taken for a strike.
Emerald singled back into 5th. He's 1 for 2 in the ball.
A very nice crowd here.
A Vogel one, too.
They have, and for good reason. It's been a crazy game. T-Bolt's hoping the scoreline holds in this half inning. Mishra trying to do the job. The 0-1 pitch to JT Amaral is swung on and missed up high in the zone. Strike 2.
Vogel got a big jump over there at second base. Would not be surprised if he tries to go to third here.
Nobody warming up at the T-Bolts bullpen. Same with the Giants. It's empty. So maybe Harden again for the Giants. The 0-2 from Misha to Amaral is grounded towards Putnam and gets through, and it'll bring in a Giants run as it's an RBI two out single for the catcher John Amaral.
And talk about the hit and run working to perfection. With the runner stealing third base, that's Drew Vogel. That drew Putnam over towards the third base bag, and wouldn't you know it, the swing by Amaral produced a ground ball right to where Putnam was standing before the runner broke. So if he doesn't run, that's a routine 5-3 ground out and the inning's over, but instead it's an RBI single.
Tough break for the T-Bolts, but the strategy works off for the Giants, and it's a one-run game as the madness continues here tonight. Swung on and fouled off. First pitch Ryan sees. Count goes 0-1. As it looks like it's Mishra's inning to end himself. The score reads 9-8. T-Bolts lead. It's in there, strike 2.
Good pitch by Mishra, and just trying to shake off that last unfortunate break.
0-2 coming from Mishra to Matt Ryan. Pitch is swung on and missed. Mishra gets out of it, but damage is done. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. The T-Bolts 9, the Giants 8 as we go to the bottom of the 7th on the T-Bolts Radio Network.
and welcome back here to Blair Stadium as the long rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, the full rendition of the game, of the Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Score is 9-8. T-Bolts lead. Coming up is the heart of the order, Ian Jenkins, Nathan Waugh, and Eli Putnam, the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Oh, correction, it's the bottom of the order, Gary Garrett Jr., Bobby Leitzel, and Chandler Muller.
And even though it might be the bottom of the order, it's been very productive here for the T-Bolts. As the, looking at it, the 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters have combined to score, if I can count here, 6 of the 9 runs for the T-Bolts tonight. So
Nathan Waugh held hitless.
Yeah, they found a way to get on base and then find a way to turn the run lineup over so the top of the lineup can drive them home.
Just caught my eye. Bobby Leitzel has been on base so many times. His jersey is now almost yellow.
Yeah, and picked off so many times, or at least trying to pick them off.
A lot of dirt on that clean white T-Bolts jersey. The first pitch to Garrett is in there for strike 1. And
unfortunately for him, we're off tomorrow, so at least he'll have some time to let his jersey soak in some cleaning solution and try to get those dirt stains out of there. But we're home the next night.
Swing and a miss from Garrett. Count goes to 0-2.
Garrett just aggressive here in this at bat. Behind in the count though.
Down low for a ball.
Garrett, 2 hits in his last 2 appearances, trying to keep that going.
Garrett takes it down low to even up the count 2-2. Good eye. We know he has one, that's for sure.
Yes, he's so many walks earlier in this year. Slowed that production down a little bit, but once he gets the bat going, he'll have a complete offensive profile.
Pitch from Harden to Garrett, 2-2, and it's down low, ball 3. We get a payoff pitch.
From down 0-2 to even, or rather to a full count. Garrett doing a good job here in this at-bat.
That's the Gary Garrett special. We've seen it so many times this year. Trying to complete it for the walk. Here it comes, 3-2. And he does it inside ball 4.
I hadn't seen him walk like that in a while, but that's the Gary Garrett Jr. we all know and love. He worked a walk after he was down 2-0, or 0-2 rather, and now 3 times in a row on base after a strikeout to lead the ball game off. And now a guy that's been on base so often, it's Bobby Leitzel.
Leitzel just trying to get the runner in scoring position. They're going to check on Garrett. He's back safely. He has very good speed, so certainly a guy who might go and try and steal a bat.
Good speed, 5 for 6 on stolen base attempts this year, and 11 with Lander this season.
He stays. Leitzel hits one into shallow center field, and that one will drop. And it gets away from the center fielder, so Garrett will safely be at second. Leitzel rounds first heavily, but Garrett could go to third. So the runners each advance 90 feet from where they were to begin the play, and 2 runners on, no men out for the T-Bolts.
The outfield was playing shallow, but that one was just hit tailing away from the center fielder Quelch, and just hit in a method that he couldn't quite get to it. And fortunately for the T-Bolts, it bounced away from him, allowing Garrett to reach second safely. He could have been in trouble had Quelch made the play cleanly, but instead bounced off his glove.
Fire department is having a truck leave the station. It might be because of the hot bat of Bobby Leitzel.
That's a good one.
Been phenomenal in the past few days, as now Chandler Muller tries to join in the action. A single and a double in his last 2 at-bats, but he fouls off the first pitch.
Of course, for those unfamiliar, Firehouse right beyond the left field fence in hittable territory for many of the right-handed power bats here in the Ripken League.
Watch out for Bobby Leitzel. The All-Star has been phenomenal. Here comes the pitch to Muller. It's a good one that catches the zone.
Granted, Leitzel, looking back, he's only 3 for 5 in the ballgame, but has reached all 5 times, including 2 errors by this Gaithersburg team. So
he puts the ball in play.
Yes, and
That's
finds a way to get
do.
on. And his speed forces those rush plays.
I was always taught as a kid, you put the ball in play, good things happen.
Yes.
You can't score a run when you strike out, so that's for sure. The 0-2 pitch is up high to Muller. It goes to 1-2.
Muller also 2 hits in his last
Yes.
2 trips. Try to keep that going, including that big drive out to left center field.
The probably biggest hit of the season for him, a 3-run double that gave the T-Bolts the lead.
And also really could have been a home run in many parks here in
Yes.
the Ripken League. Blair, one of the deepest outfield fences, if not the deepest.
1-2, Chandler Muller is just outside. A very good-looking pitch. Could have been called strike 3 by Godwin.
Great eye.
So certainly Muller has got a good eye. He takes it for ball 2, and he'll get a pitch to hit now. Don't want to walk Muller with the next 2 on deck, that's for sure. Jenkins in the on-deck circle, Waugh in the hole. Harden steps off the mound, and now we'll have a mound visit by his catcher, Amaral.
And as they do that, a right-hander throwing out there in the Gaithersburg bullpen.
Fans, if you came here to Blair Stadium not wanting to learn anything, you're in the wrong
And it
place.
looks like
Nice trivia question
it's a
from
one
our general manager, Dick O'Connor. What year was taken
digit
out
number?
to the ball game first played at a major league ball game?
That is a great question.
So,
What year was taken out to the
yeah,
ball game
relaying that question to you.
first played at a
What
major league
year
baseball game?
was Take Me Out to the Ball Game first played at a major league ballpark?
Don't know the year, but I'm sure it was way before my lifetime, so I'm not even going to
yeah.
try and guess, but it's got to be very old because it's a classic amongst, many Americans. National pastime. It's a song of the national pastime. So it's a 2-2 count to Chandler Muller with 2 runners on and no man out. Muller swings and fouls it off to stay alive.
And that's one feature of our T-Bolts radio network. If you're listening on the radio, you can utilize the Mixler chat feature and give us your responses to that trivia question. But play along at home if you're tuning in on the Tacoma Park City TV television feed.
And now a stealing of third, and he is caught. So Gary Garrett Jr. is thrown out third, and it wasn't a double steal because Leitzel didn't go, and now there's 1 gone with a full count pitch coming to the batter, Chandler Muller.
Yeah, tough one there. Tried to get a good break, he did, but the pitch was a perfect one to throw on. Way outside the zone, the catcher just popped out of his stance. Amaral fired a strike down the third. Way in time to beat the speedy Garrett.
Not sure if there was miscommunication there, as Muller swings and misses. It's strike 3. Going to second is Leitzel, and he's safe. T-Bolts get the runner in scoring position, but there is an out recorded.
So, yeah, some demands for interference here from the Gaithersburg staff. Jesse Frawley out there talking to the home plate umpire, Dwight Godwin. He argued that Leitzel, or rather not Leitzel, Muller was trying to run down to first base, even though, he was retired. That's not going to be the case.
As catcher Amaral.
Now he seems to have a injury issue as the medical staff jogging out to attend to the Gaithersburg catcher.
Yeah, obviously hope everything's okay. We're not sure what's going on.
Yes.
He's bent down on his knees in kind of a squat position, talking to the pitcher, Harden, his manager, and his trainer.
Yeah, the trivia question, that one's
The question is, does Dick O'Connor actually know the answer?
I'm sure he does. He's sitting over to our left.
We'll ask him for it later. But, I many times in my life I thought I've known something and I was wrong. So we just need a fact check to make sure it's correct. That's what Google's for.
So now,
Yeah, Hunter's going to come out and give a cup of water for Amaral. So we're hoping everything's okay.
So it might be just
dehydration.
some cramps here. Humid night, not necessarily hot at Blair, but the humidity can kind of sap your hydration even if you're drinking a lot of water. So stretching out his legs out there, even with his catcher's gear on. So
still important to mention while we're in the break, no one's warming up in either bullpen. So this might mean that Mishra might come back in for the 8th inning of work.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Kelly was kind of throwing the baseball around, but he hasn't done it since. So he might have just been, you know, for fun, keeping his arm loose. He was pitching out there with his catcher's gear on, so I imagine it was nothing too serious.
Still, we take a break for Amaral, who's trying to battle some of the humid climate here in Maryland. I've mentioned in the past, it is Maryland monsoon season, and although it hasn't rained tonight, there is a lot of, you know, clouds in the sky that, you know, contribute towards humidity.
So I will say I did look up the response to our trivia question, and Neil Vaughn, tuning in on the T-Bolts Radio Network, did get it correct. I will keep the answer hidden.
How does Neil know that? I am very impressed, but is this common knowledge?
It's not to me, but Neil is the encyclopedia of all things baseball, tuning in at home, and you know, if you learn half the things that he knows, you'll be really knowledgeable about the game of baseball.
And if there's anyone I trust to come up with that right answer, it is certainly Neil. So I will believe him and agree that that's the answer.
So I think you might have jinxed something, Jacob.
It's not a jinx.
As a left-hander, it's getting loose.
It's like Bryce Smith.
Well, no, it's Bryce Smith is. Yeah, it is Bryce Smith, left-hander, out there throwing some pitches in the bullpen as he's playing first base tonight.
Yes.
Not uncommon here for the T-Bolts to see a fielder enter the ball game. We've seen it happen several times with Connor Kelly as he started the game catching and then would come in to pitch.
Could bring in, you know, Nathan Waugh, or Andrew Shave to play first base if he does come out of the game, but it looks like Amaral's okay and he gets a huge plus.
I don't think you would like to lose Waugh as your DH, so I think you probably do slide in Shaved maybe at first base as a defensive replacement. Well, interested to see how it would work out, but that's a issue for later on. I imagine we'll probably have Mishra out there for another half inning of work at least.
So we are being told that there's a defensive replacement. Jeremiah Jenkins comes in for Bryce Porter at first base.
Yeah, Jenkins over there. Very tall, 6'4" out there. Jeremiah Jenkins, sophomore from Maine, takes over for Porter at first base.
So now the infield is Jeremiah Jenkins at first, Matt Ryan at second, Dylan Wilkinson at third, and Drew Vogel at short. So now stepping in is Ian Jenkins, looking to get that T-Bolt to run right back after they gave it up in the last half inning. Takes the first pitch down low. Amaral does a good job making the play after he was shaken up for a few minutes there. Good to see him back in action. Nathan Waugh, Cornell sophomore, stands on deck. They're going to check on Leitzel, but the throw is very wide. Luckily, it didn't go into center field.
I think they might have just wanted Leitzel to have more laundry out there. As
yes.
His uniform is already filthy, but
there's not enough Tide in this universe that can get the stains out of that, that's for sure. 1-0 to Jenkins, it's outside ball too.
Leitzel does have a very healthy lead out there at second base. He's trying to get the timing down. T-Bolt's already had one runner cut down at third base, so they got to be careful.
By the time he takes a secondary lead, he's a solid 30 feet off the bat. 2-0 pitch from Harden to Ian Jenkins. Here it comes. It's down the middle, and Jenkins fouls it off behind the crowd on the first base line.
Jenkins is 1 for 4 in the ball game, but that single came in a big spot in the 4th inning.
So a 2-1 pitch upcoming for Ian Jenkins from Ethan Harden. Here it comes. Swung on and again fouled off near the same place, and it goes even 2-2. Pitch that might have been called a ball, and Jenkins talks to the home plate umpire Dwight Godwin to see if that was the case, if it was indeed a Pitch outside the zone. We know Jenkins takes his hitting very seriously. Loves to make quick adjustments. Looks to do so here as he looks to drive in the run. Leitzel on second. 2-2. Swung on by Jenkins and fouled this time on the third base side into the Gaithersburg Giants dugout, and the count remains.
Yeah, great pitch by Harden, but even better discipline by Jenkins to get a piece of it.
We can say the Alexandria DC score is final. The Aces take it 4-3 in DC. So good news for the T-Bolts if they win or lose this game. As Jenkins slaps it through the hole in between the shortstop, or the second baseman and the first baseman. Leitzel aggressive coming around third base. He scores, and the T-Bolts increase the lead. They get into double digits from the run column. It's 10-8.
And Jenkins cashes in. He's hit well with runners on base all season long. And there he goes again, his 21st RBI of the year. And, you know, it gives the T-Bolts the lead back to 2 runs and 10 runs up on the scoreboard. First time in a long time the T-Bolts have gotten a tally that high.
Garrett Driscoll made, he made no mistake sending Leitzel around third. Now Wall steps up to the dish, trying to add on. Takes it right down the pipe, strike 1. He has looked off tonight. 2 strikeouts and 2 flyouts, trying to find a groove. We've seen him go into spurts like this and then come out, you know, with an extra base hit or home run and be right back to the Nathan Wall we know and love. He takes it for a strike 2, a very delayed call by Godwin.
Yeah, he took a second to think about it, but made the call. Now,
wasn't necessarily a bad call, but just super late. Took about 2 seconds before he made the call. On deck is Eli Putnam, the third baseman. Ian Jenkins at first. Nathan Wall at the plate. Bottom of the 7th. The 0-2 is swung on by Wall to foul territory. It will drop into the T-Bolts bullpen.
So looking back at the results from the team this year, it's the first time since June 30th the team has scored at least 10 runs. They got 14 in that ball game, but it's only the, by my count, the fourth time this year rather, that they have scored at least 10.
0-2 count to Nathan Wall, the DH tonight. Pitch is taken just outside ball 1.
Borderline pitch, good eye.
Super Smash Bros, as I call them. Ian Jenkins and Nathan Wall have been fabulous tonight, but the storyline has been the bottom of the order that's come up with the T-Bolts.
Especially Gary Garrett.
Wall now trying to contribute as well. Has been held hitless in 4 at-bats. The 1-2 swung on and drilled into center field, but right at Joseph Quelch. So the hitless streak continues for Nathan Wall. He's 0-for-5 tonight. And the T-Bolts, they get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, no runners, or 1 runner left on base. We go to the 8th inning of play. The T-Bolts 10, the Giants 8 on the T-Bolts Radio Network. And we're back here on the T-Bolts Radio Network as we have a few defensive changes and a pitching change. Ian, want to take us through it?
Be happy to. So, new pitcher out on the mound is someone that we've seen already in this ball game. It's Connor Kelly moving from behind the plate to the mound. A change that we've seen a couple times this year. Not uncommon, at least not for the T-Bolts, as Kelly is an excellent relief pitcher coming into his 8th game of the year out of the bullpen. So far, over 9 2/3. He has 1 save on the year, yet to record a win or a loss, but a 4.66 ERA, 16 strikeouts, only 3 walks. When he's at his best, he's getting a lot of swings and misses. And then coming in to fulfill the catching duties for him is Casey Gibbs. He appeared in the All-Star game and then came down with an illness, and out of precaution here, he sat out the next couple of games as he was getting better, but returned to the ballpark tonight and returns to action as we're going to see a new batter here. It's Jeremiah Jenkins, who came in as a defensive replacement last half inning.
So for the Giants, they get the bottom of the order, 8-9-1. Jeremiah Jenkins, Joshua Wilson, and Joseph Quelch. This is Jenkins' first at-bat after taking over for Bryce Porter, who went over 3. First pitch you see some Kelly is fouled off behind home plate. It's a pop fly that will go behind us.
So Jenkins comes into tonight's ball game hitting .271, but had a fantastic freshman year at the University of Maine and was in fact named a freshman All-American.
.271 average, but hits when it's needed. 18 RBIs in the season as he takes the ball up high to even up the count 1-1. Top of the 8th inning, the T-Bolts lead by 2 runs. Score is 10-8. The 1-1 from Kelly to Jenkins is again up high.
So praise from Ethan Mishra, or for Ethan Mishra, and definitely deserved it. 5 innings pitched, only 1 run allowed on 5 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts.
2-1, swung on by Jenkins and missed a pitch that would have easily been ball 3, way up in the zone. Joshua Wilson on deck, the left fielder. Two from Kelly to Jenkins is grounded towards Smith. He makes a great play. Going to throw it on to Kelly. He tags first base, and it's a 3-1 putout to begin the inning.
Tough play there for Smith at the range to his right, and then the high chopper had to go to a leap to snag it, but made the play and then threw it over to Kelly and did a good job of leading him to the base and not throwing behind him to get the out.
Credit Kelly for getting over there in time. A lot of pitchers aren't able to. He did what he was taught to do, got over to the base in time to cover for the first baseman. So now the T-Bolts have 1 out already in the 8th inning. Wilson comes up trying to be the first base runner for the Giants here. And he pops one up into shallow left field. Leitzel called off by Chandler Muller. Or correction, Leitzel does end up making the catch, and there's 2 men gone.
Yeah, as Leitzel kind of went straight back, and then last second cut over to his left, but made the play nonetheless.
Leitzel had to call off the left fielder behind him. Thought it was the other way around because Muller looked like he was going to get there in time. This now brings at the top of the order Joseph Quelch. Definitely the type of guy to get a rally started. Takes the first pitch up high from Kelly for ball 1. Quelch awaits the 1-0 from Kelly. He takes it just outside ball 2.
Kelly almost got the call on the frame by Gibbs, but Gibbs is framed just a little bit too much to fool the umpire.
A 2-0 pitch upcoming. It's in there, strike 1.
Kelly's velocity definitely not an issue tonight. It was an issue earlier in the year, but definitely full strength here.
Quelch 0 for 3. His batting average will certainly go down, leading the league to this point. And it gets away from Gibbs, the catcher. The count goes to 3-1.
Yeah, he's only reached once on that hit by pitch, but when he did reach, he did score back in the 2nd inning. So Kelly trying to avoid second time for him reaching.
On deck would be Dylan Wilkinson, another dangerous hitter out of Longwood. Here comes the 3-1, and it's up high outside, ball 4. Quelch reaches on the base on balls.
It's a tough walk, but one that, you know, with 2 outs, you're pitching around a dangerous hitter. Can't blame him for trying to paint the corners, but now you have to focus back up against another tough hitter in Wilkinson.
Bring up a guy who is an extra base hit machine. 6 on the season, 5 doubles and a home run, and 328 average. Trying to bring this game 1 run closer. Kelly looking to avoid that. First pitch to Wilkinson is swung on and driven into shallow right field. Jenkins comes on and makes the catch. Great play and great range by Jenkins. He has looked phenomenal in the field as of late. And there is no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. We go to the bottom half of the inning. The T-Bolts 10, the Giants 8 on the T-Bolts Radio Network. And we're back here on the T-Bolts Radio Network and Tacoma Park City Television. We're so happy that we're able to bring you a video feed here tonight as well as the audio feed we normally have here. And it's just been a fantastic night at the ballpark, on the field, and in the booth.
Yeah, it's been a great game to watch, a great game to call. And, you know, it makes it easy for us when there's nothing but runs, as it, you know, it keeps us active, and, you know, it keeps the listeners and watchers interested. And we're going to have something else to watch for as a new pitcher coming out on the mound for Gaithersburg. It's Caleb Gaithersburg.
Well, I know so many of my friends always tell me, you know, baseball's so boring. Well, not tonight, it's not. It has been nothing short of excellent this game. So much action between the two teams. The T-Bolts were down 7-0.
Yeah,
came back to take a 10 or a 9-7 lead, and then each teams have tacked on a run to make it a 10-8 ball game.
And you talk about excitement. It's not been, you know, how sometimes games go where a bunch of walks and where pitching struggles. Tonight it's just been the offenses coming out and breaking out in big ways. 18 runs and deserving those 18 runs, both these offenses. But yeah, Caleb Gaithersburg coming out now for Gaithersburg, the rising sophomore at Belmont University from Cottontown, Tennessee. The 6'1" right-hander comes on for his 7th ball game. Leads the league in wins. He has 4 wins, only 1 loss, a 2.87 ERA, 24 strikeouts over 15 2/3.
Well, if anyone's going to put an end to the slugfest, it's Caleb Gaithersburg. He's been very good this season. But he has a tough challenge in Putnam, Smith, and Gibbs. Gibbs will come into the game as the catcher, now that Kelly's pitching the game. And Putnam lines it right towards the shortstop, and making a play on the line drive is Drew Vogel for the first out of the inning, just 1 pitch down.
Yeah, they hit it hard, just kind of the wrong part of the bat. Unfortunately for Putnam, it's just a loud out.
The first time tonight, Putnam doesn't reach base, but it was still a nice piece of hitting. Brings up Bryce Smith, the first baseman. It's down low, ball 1.
So interesting to note that Gaithersburg has earned wins in his last 3 appearances. So maybe Gaithersburg trying to work the magic again here.
That one is popped up again into the shallow infield, and making the catch this time is third baseman Dylan Wilkinson. So very quickly, 2 outs for Caleb Gaithersburg.
So Connor Kelly will come up to hit here, and trying to figure out.
So they must have lost the DH.
Yeah, I'm guessing they brought. You know, Wall had a tough night over 5, so you take him out of the game and put Gibbs into his spot, and you lose the DH.
First pitch to Kelly is outside, ball 1.
And certainly, you know, you have to think about it. Gibbs is an excellent hitter, you know, hitting up over 300 on the year. And Kelly has had a good night at the plate himself.
You want to get him into a groove, so all 3 can be playing at the same time. And Wah has really struggled tonight, so maybe Brock trying to spark him, letting him sit out, as Kelly swings at a pitch that was way outside of the zone. And count goes to 1-1.
Just a good mix up there for Gaithersburg. Only 2 pitches, a fastball and a curveball, but that fastball high velocity and the curveball only in the mid-60s, or mid-70s rather.
Don't need more than those 2 when they work brilliantly like Gaithersburg makes them.
Yes.
The 1-1, this one's outside. Glad to see that John Amaril's okay. He was a little shaken up in the last inning.
Yeah, you never want to see a player go down in any league, let alone a Ripken league where the players are here to develop.
As that one's taken down low. Kelly gets into a 3-1 hitters count with Ryo Fabre on deck, who's had a very good night. Coming, Connor Kelly. It's grounded up the middle.
Tough play.
Vogel trying to make the throw to first. It's just in time by a half step, in time to Jeremiah Jenkins, and that ends the inning. So a very good inning of relief by Caleb Gaithersburg. The T-Bolts, after no hits, no runs, no errors, no runners left on base, they will have 3 outs to get in the top of the 9th. It's the T-Bolts 10, the Giants 8 on the T-Bolts Radio Network, and the Takoma Park Television. And we're back here on the T-Bolts Radio Network and the Takoma Park City TV for the top of the 9th inning. The Giants need 2 runs to keep this game going, and they've got the best part of their lineup up to do it.
Yeah, they got the heart of the order due up, and that's really the part that you want if you want to keep this game going. And certainly Gaithersburg does as we approach the 10 o'clock hour here on the East Coast. If you're listening live here on the T-Bolts Radio Network, and if you're watching on Takoma Park City TV, we appreciate you spending your time with us and watching a fantastic ball game. T-Bolts holding on to a 2-run lead here in the top of the 9th, but no lead is safe in the Ripken League, and certainly with a great lineup here for Gaithersburg and the solid part of the lineup due up, they're going to put up a strong fight here in the top of the 9th.
Kelly was haunted by a 9th inning performance in which he was unable to close out an only, but he can redeem himself here with 3 outs against the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Dustin Mercer, Drew Vogel, and Ihai Akoji. Stepping to the dish is Dustin Mercer. Ready for the first pitch from Connor Kelly in the top of the 9th. It swung on and fouled off.
And you mentioned that tough play for the T-Bolts, or a tough loss for the T-Bolts against Olney. That was a game where Kelly didn't have his good stuff. Tonight, he definitely has his good stuff.
Hoping it continues in this half inning, that's for sure. Second pitch to Mercer. That one is just inside ball 2, or ball 1.
And going back to our trivia question, in case you didn't know, the first time that Take Me Out to the Ballpark was played at a Major League ballpark, the year was 1934.
Awesome. As that is outside 2-1. So 1-1 coming, and it's down low. I believe it's actually now 3-1. The scoreboard is not correct. So 3-1 to Dustin Mercer, and you do not want to walk the leadoff man up by 2 in the top of the 9th. That is for sure, with Vogel on deck, who has it 2 home runs this season. pitch is outside, ball 4. And after getting into an 0-1 count, Mercer gets a vital no-out walk.
Nerves are high here at Blair Stadium as the leadoff walk is, you know, not usually a good sign, but it does set up a possibility to get 2 quick outs with 1 swing of the bat.
T-Bolt's playing for that. They have infield at double play depth. Vogel takes the first pitch and fouls it off right at me.
Heads up.
I will say I did flinch. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Well, we don't have the view of you here. You could have kept that secret.
I'm a man. You know, my mom told me never to lie. That one did get me. It was right back at us. And it's an 0-1 count quickly to Drew Vogel. The 0-1 from Kelly. Here comes the pitch. He sets towards home plate. Fires, and it's just outside, count even.
Kelly just trying to find the location here. Had the leadoff walk, but trying to limit the damage early on.
Now the 1-1 to Drew Vogel, the shortstop. It swung on and missed. Good job by Gibbs to keep it in front of him, as staying at first base is Mercer.
Excellent pitch, even better block by Gibbs. Can't afford to have one go through your legs and go all the way to the backstop.
So 1-2 the count. The score is 10-8. Giants need 2 runs to extend the game, 3 to take the lead, and get the T-Bolts to come up in the bottom of the 9th. The runner on first is Dustin Mercer after a leadoff walk. Here comes the 1-2 from Kelly, and it's just inside, ball 2.
Went to the breaking ball, trying to get him to chase, but just hung up a little bit too high.
On deck, Ihai Ikoji has 2 home runs in the season. So he's a guy who can tie this game with 1 swing. The 2-2 is down low, ball 3.
Kelly's velocity is there, but the location eluding him, I think.
And the most important pitch of the entire game upcoming right now. As a ball here would bring up the go-ahead run. It's outside, ball 4. 2 straight walks to lead off the inning from Kelly.
And this has gotten the Gaithersburg dugout fired up. After the pitch, Vogel turned his dugout, gave him a little clap as Brock Hunter will head out and have a discussion with Kelly. You know that they want this ball game bad. They lost a heartbreaker last night where it just so happened they blew another lead where they scored 7 runs in an inning. They had 7-2 lead over DC, and they ended up falling in that game, and they're trying to avoid the same fate here tonight. They scored 7 in the 2nd inning, and the T-Bolts fought their way back into it to get the lead, eventually 9-7. It's now a 10-8 ball game, but the tying run stands at first base in the form of Drew Vogel, and Ihai Ikoji is coming to the plate, and he represents the go-ahead run in this ball game.
As you could hear a pin drop in Blair Stadium right now.
Yeah,
tensions are high.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you have the quiet environment for your pitcher to work.
Certainly Kelly needs to settle down, not let the moment get to him. He still needs 3 outs. The tying runner is at first base, but this is the batter that matters. You know, worst case, you go into the bottom of the 9th tied up, but you got to get these next 3 batters out. So it's Ihai Ikoji, the DH, coming up. Behind him is John Amaral. Comes the first pitch from Kelly. It swung on and fouled off.
Just getting that first pitch strike makes so much of a difference. You're now pitching ahead to the hitter, and you can make more quality pitches. You don't have to feel forced to come inside the zone.
The 0-1 from Kelly to Ikoji. He fires towards home plate. It swung on and missed.
Ikoji way out in front of that pitch, despite it being a fastball from Kelly.
My heart is racing here as the T-Bolts look to close out a crazy game, but the Giants want the craziness to go on. They have 2 runners on. The 0-2. It swung on and missed. First out of the inning, and it's a big one. The 4th strikeout and the golden sombrero for Ihai Koji tonight.
And 4 strikeouts in a row for Koji after starting the game off, at least starting his night off with a single. He struck out 4 times in a row, so struggles continue for him on the year.
So here comes JT Amaral, and then on deck is Matt Ryan. T-Bolts can end the game with a double play. You know Kelly would love that.
See what? Fans would love it too.
Amaral has 2 hits tonight, and he takes the first pitch down low for ball 1.
And Kelly's definitely pitching for that ground ball. Keeping the ball at the lower part of the zone, trying to get the Gaithersburg hitters to roll over one.
Kelly looks back at second. Now fires towards home. It's up high, ball 2. So a 2-0 count and a good hitter's count for John Amaral, who has hit a home run this season. 3 doubles as well and 10 RBIs. Gapper here would tie the game. Top of the 9th. Kelly's pitch is down low, ball 3. And you have the green light here if you're John Amaral.
Reluctantly, I say yes.
I agree. I mean, if you get a pitch to hit, a double can tie this game. So if he's given a pitch to hit, he might take the opportunity. 3-0 is up high, ball 4. 3 walks in the inning and a strikeout, and the bases are loaded with a single that could tie the game from Matt Ryan.
And now you're really playing with fire here with the T-Bolts. Matt Ryan at the plate. I hate to cop out and use the football pun, but
yes,
maybe he's trying to run the 2-minute drill here. Team down to their final chances here in the top of the 9th, but Matt Ryan with the chance to get his team, if not tied, at least 1 run closer.
Well, with that name, he's giving you the bait, so
yes,
you got to take it. First pitch to Ryan is drilled right at Putnam. Great job. He gets on the line out, and there's 2 men gone. What a huge play, and what a tough break for Matt Ryan.
Well, with the hard line drive, you kind of hold your breath with the corners pulled in, but it was right at Putnam, and he was able to flag it down right around his knees. And fortunately enough for the T-Bolts, they get a big out. Now they're 1 out away from coming out with the win.
And it's up to Jeremiah Jenkins. An out ends the game. A single can tie it, as he's just looking to keep it going for Joshua Wilson behind him. Kelly just needs 1 more out. Let that sink in. First pitch to Jenkins is popped up. Shallow into foul territory. Putnam makes the catch, and the T-Bolts win the game. A crazy come-from-behind victory. The final score, 10-8, Kelly, and the rest of the T-Bolts celebrating it as Jenkins pops up for the final out, and it caps off what has been the best game of the year here on the T-Bolts Radio Network.
When you talk about going back and forth all game long, the T-Bolts were down early, 7-0, but they did not get down on themselves. They came back, they worked back. They had a couple scoreless innings in a row to start the ball game off, but the offense came alive in the middle innings. 9 runs combined between the 4th and the 5th, 5 in the 4th, and 4 in the 5th inning. And they just went head-to-head against a really tough Gaithersburg team, and they came out on top. Amazing ball game, and I'm so happy we could bring it to you on both the T-Bolts Radio Network and on Tacoma Park City TV.
The best game of the year, and we get it on television.
If you're tuning in for the first time on television, welcome to Ripken League Baseball. I don't think there could have been a better introduction for you than right here on Tacoma Park City TV. What a ball game.
I am just so grateful. It was a beautiful night, no rain. There was supposed to be some in the forecast, and the skies are clear for a T-Bolt victory. It's been a while since we've been able to say that, and the Blair fans go home happy for the first time in about a week as T-Bolts etch out a 10-8 victory. Any final thoughts, Ian, before we sign off?
Well, tabulating the final line score here in the ball game, but it's such a tough task to hold leads here in the Ripken League, especially once you turn the ball game over to your bullpen. And Ethan Mishra pitched an outstanding ball game. 5 innings, only allowing that 1 earned run. It's just been more of the same for him. He's been fantastic all season long. He got that all-star bid, and no one earned it more than him. here in the T-Bolts pitching staff. He's worked hard all year long, and this was coming off a long layoff. He hadn't pitched for the T-Bolts in a long time, but did not miss a beat coming into this ball game.
Kelly goes 2 scoreless innings. Didn't come without trouble. He had the base loaded with 1 out, but got some huge breaks with a line out to Putnam and then a fly out to Putnam to end it. And just so happy for this team. They've seen such heartbreak. They finally get to have one night of celebration at least.
So looking at the line, the final, once again, a 10-8 win for the T-Bolts. The T-Bolts get 10 runs on 14 hits, 1 error, and 9 runners left on base. For the Gaithersburg Giants, a tough one. They lose, but they've got 8 runs, 9 hits, 4 errors, and 10 runners left on base. The winning pitcher for tonight's ball game will be Ethan Mishra. He is now 2-0 on the season. The losing pitcher, I believe, will be Ethan Harden. And with that decision, he now falls to 0-1 on the year. The save will go to Connor Kelly.
Yes.
That is his 2nd save of the season.
Awesome for Connor Kelly, and just a fabulous night of baseball. Sadly, tomorrow we will not be on the T-Bolts Radio Network. We have the day off, so we don't get to bring you any action, but we are back on, I'm trying to get my day straight, we are back on Sunday night at 7 p.m. back on the T-Bolts Radio Network.
Facing South County, and what should be a great game every time those 2 teams play. They put on a great show.
Important to mention, we talked about the fact that the Grays are the team we should be looking out for. T-Bolts only a game behind of the Braves now for that last place. So a crazy game all around, and that will do it here on the T-Bolts Radio Network and on Tacoma Park City TV.
Important to note that South County game on Sunday, 6 o'clock 6 o'clock start. So tune in early, get here to the ballpark early if you're making the trip.
Certainly the case. So thank you once again for tuning in on Tacoma Park City TV and the T-Bolts Radio Network. We will catch you next time, and for everyone listening, have a wonderful evening.